These are the Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, for gaining wisdom and discipline, for comprehending words of insight, and for receiving instruction in wise living, and in righteousness, justice, and equity, to impart prudence to the simple, and knowledge and discretion to the young. Let the wise listen and gain instruction, and the discerning acquire wise counsel by understanding the proverbs and parables, the sayings and riddles of the wise. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. Listen, my son, to your father's instruction, and do not forsake the teaching of your mother, for they are a garland of grace on your head and a pendant around your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not yield to them. If they say, come along, let us lie in wait for blood, let us ambush the innocent without cause, let us swallow them alive like Sheol, and whole like those descending into the pit. We will find all manner of precious goods. We will fill our houses with plunder, growing in lot with us. Let us all share one purse. My son, do not walk the road with them, or set foot upon their path, for their feet run to evil, and they are swift to shed blood. How futile it is to spread the net where any bird can see it, but they lie in wait for their own blood. They ambush their own lives. Such is the fate of all who are greedy, whose unjust gain takes the lives of its possessors. Wisdom calls out in the street, she lifts her voice in the square. In the main concourse she cries aloud, at the city gate she makes her speech. How long, oh simple ones, will you love your simple ways? How long will scoffers delight in their scorn, and fools hate knowledge? If you had repented at my rebuke, then surely I would have poured out my spirit on you. I would have made my words known to you, because you refused my call, and no one took my outstretched hand, because you neglected all my counsel and wanted none of my correction in turn. I will mock your calamity, I will sneer when terror strikes you, when your dread comes like a storm, and your destruction like a whirlwind. When distress and anguish overwhelm you, then they will call on me, but I will not answer. They will earnestly seek me, but will not find me, for they hated knowledge and chose not to fear the Lord. They accepted none of my counsel, they despised all my reproof. So they will eat the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the waywardness of the simple will slay them, and the complacency of fools will destroy them. But whoever listens to me will dwell in safety, secure from the fear of evil.
Grace and peace, everybody. We're back. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title, you know what we're about to do. You checked your clock, you knew it was Friday night, so it's Friday Night Lights. And we have a good show for you planned already. So thank you so much for tapping in. Thank you so much for going ahead and hitting the like button and jumping into the best live chat on the internet. Shout out to Mike. Is already getting people off to the right start. Blessing 5 people with memberships already. Shout out to Mike. Y'all, if you got a membership from Mike, you know what to do. Go ahead and put your name on it and say thank you very much, Mike, for kicking us off like that. Thank you so much. All right, we got a good one for you. I got a good one for you. This is a variety. This is all over the place. We're going to talk about Trump and the SAVE Act. We're going to talk a little bit about Candace. We're going to be talking about Generation Z. We got some Jordan. We got some Jordan Peterson up in here. We're all over the place. There is no rhyme, absolutely no reason tonight. We're just all over the place. I had some really great content and I saw this week. I said, I'm gonna save this for Friday Night Lights. I'm gonna pull this for Friday Night Lights, and that's what we're gonna do. So before we get too far afield, let's pray and let's get ready to have some fun tonight. Father, I thank you tonight that we have this great opportunity to use this technology that you've blessed us with to be able to connect. I pray, God, that we will have a fantastic show, that we will have a good time, enjoy ourselves, laugh, and all that kind of good stuff, but ultimately point people back to Christ. So I thank you for this opportunity and the blessedness that I have to do that. So I thank you for all of this in Jesus' name. Amen. Let's get active. So if you are a parent, a grandparent, a coach, mentor, or maybe you work with this generation, I guess it's called Generation Z, or our generation, or millennials, or generation that those younger, just barely 22 to like 30-year-olds. I don't know what that generation is, but if you have that generation in your household or in your church, in your work environment, you probably know what this video is going to be about. So we're going to look at this young lady, and the title of the video is called "She Lost Her Dream Job Before She Even Started." And I had to tell you, this video is kind of sad. I have to admit, it was a sad video because this young lady, okay, is Generation Z. I'm not certain of the generations, and my kids just left because they will definitely tell you. They'll make sure you know about it, right? So my girls are gone at the moment. So, right. But see, I hate to say it like this. This one is going to be for parents. For us older people, you got a little bit of gray in your beard, a little bit of gray in your tiara. You're gonna feel sorry for this young lady because somebody didn't tell her some very key things. Now she does some stuff in here. There's a lot of responsibility. Let me just say it like that. There's a lot of responsibility to go around, and I just thought this was a really interesting one. Shout out to Social Simone. She's an excellent content creator. I love her content. She's been doing an excellent job. Very talented young lady. The links are all the videos today are down in the description already. So you can go ahead and every one of these videos we're going to watch, you can watch them yourself. But this one right here was really telling. And I think as parents, or again, grandparents, those people that have mentees rather, in your circle, young adults at church, that kind of stuff like that. Or of course, maybe your mentor, maybe you're working with them in your work environment. Let me hold on to this one real quick. I see you, MT. Generation Z. I probably won't feel sorry for her because my generation is full of absolute entitled. I don't know, man. Again, she does some stuff. We are going to be talking about this one. So get your keyboards ready, get your beverage ready, because we need to have a conversation about this one because I just thought it was really interesting. All right, let's get ready to get active. So again, this one is called Social Simone. Again, very talented content creator. She lost her dream job before she even started. Again, I think even us old curmudgeons are gonna feel a little sorry for her because this one is pretty bad. So let me bring this in with no further ado. Let's get at it. All right, do me a favor if you don't mind. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
possible news ever. So, as we all know, I was supposed to be moving down to Tampa in 3 days. 3 days. I got my dream job. I found a beautiful apartment, and I was set to be down there on Thursday, and I received a email stating that because I submitted my documentation later than they would have liked, they're revoking my hiring process. So now I don't have a job there. I lost my dream job, don't have that job. I don't have my job here in St. Louis because I quit my job to go down there for this job. I can't get rehired at my job because my position was already filled. So I am jobless, and my lease for my apartment is up. I don't even have a bed in my apartment. I have nothing to sleep on. I have nothing in my house. I signed a lease, and I'm jobless in both places, and I don't know what to do.
Oh my, this sounds like a nightmare. Can y'all imagine you packed up, left one state or wherever to go to another location for a job that you think that you have, and you get a lease and all this, and you're about to get settled in, and then you find out they no longer need your services, and because of documentation. Now the documentation part is what's confusing me. Like, was she late? How did something like this happen?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all right now, go ahead and put a pin in that documentation. That's the thing, documentation. And this is something I had to work with President Firstborn. It's funny because I know this particular piece of documentation President Firstborn had to deal with early on. And she asked me though, but see, MT, I told you, he said, oh, I do feel sorry for her. But what did she do? I feel like she caused it. Now, let me say this though. She did something that, because again, I'm a mean kind of guy. Okay. I'm not y'all might think I'm all lovey-dovey, but I throw you to the wolves in a hot second. If you take ownership for something, I'm going to go ahead and I'm almost guaranteed to flip the script. And I'll fight the wolves off for you. She does take ownership, though. She admits that she didn't do what she needed to do. She doesn't blame the employer. She doesn't blame racism. She doesn't blame systematic oppression of women. None of that stuff. She takes ownership, and I like that about her. The problem, let's keep going though. Hey, where you at, Lisa? See, look. I might have to bring a whole panel on here tonight. Because I agree with you, but let's tease it out. Let's go.
And the part that's really getting me is she said she signed a lease already.
Yeah.
So she probably left or got out of another lease to get into that lease and, be like, hey, we understand, we'll work with you. They don't have to do that. But the fact that she doesn't have a job in this new location now, this has to be scary.
Like, I literally don't know what to do. This was not planned. I did not have this even as an option. I called the lady in HR and was like, hey, what the is there anything that I could do to
put another pin in? She called HR. Just put a pin in that. Just put a little mental note. So we put a mental note on documentation and a mental note on she called HR. Okay, just something to keep in mind. Let's keep dancing.
Fix this, and she was just like, no, the position already got filled. Well, I know that's a lie because I literally went on their website and the position is still there. It's still on Indeed, so I just reapplied for it. But as of right now, I don't know what to do. Do I go down to Florida anyways? Because I'm in the same predicament in both places, jobless, or do I just stay here and what? I don't even know what to do. I don't have a job. I have my rent for my apartment in August because I have to pay for half the month because my lease ends on the 17th. So yeah, I don't really know what to do. This is just really, really, really unfortunate. It's no one else's fault but mine. I understand. So yeah, I just wish they would have let me know sooner.
I'm so lost. She said it's nobody's fault but hers, and I'm trying to understand. Girl, did you forget to give them some documents, some paperwork? Did they request something?
Remember that. Remember, you put the pin in documentation. This is going to get teased out. The reason I really like Social Simone is she will, get 3 or 4 or 5 TikToks and stitch them all together so you get a full story. So remember, we're trying to find out about this documentation and calling HR.
And because they didn't get it in a timely manner or it was delayed, they had to go ahead and say, hey, we don't want you to work for us no more. Like, what could it have been? And it must have been something like that because she's saying it's her fault. Nonetheless, I wouldn't wish being jobless on anybody in this economy, because now she's over here like, should I go to Florida and be homeless? And it's like, okay, yeah, you got the beach, cool. Being homeless is not fun. Not knowing where your next dollars are coming from is not fun, no matter where you are. And I really hope she's able to figure this out. But there has to be more to this though, because I'm just confused on how you land the dream job and then you no longer have it over what seems to be some paperwork.
So that I maybe could not have done all of that I did, but that's fine. It's no one else's fault but mine. And I'm just like really, really, really upset because like if you guys know, like it's been my dream to move there. That was my dream job and I wanted it so bad. And then I managed to it up. So yeah, like I just am having a real...
She got me with the eyes. She said, I messed up. I didn't do what I need to do. She did that. And that's why I felt sorry for her. And again, as a dad, look, I understand it. And again, you got your pen in HR, you got your pen in documentation. We will address all those before the night's over.
Really hard day. A really hard and rough day.
And though I feel really bad that she's going through this, I still can't understand what she did. And I hope she tells us, but she seems to have known she didn't do something. So there's a bit of accountability there. Maybe we're not getting the full story.
But it's okay, everything happens for a reason. So yeah, I had a dinner party for tomorrow that I have to cancel because I'm not actually leaving. Guys, I feel like such a failure. I I posted about it everywhere. I was so excited. And yeah, so that's just what I and
Hold on. All right, Liza, $67.99. I'm gonna have to put you in 0-second timeout. You can't. You're in 0-second timeout. You are right on the button. You are over the target, so to speak, about part of the problem. So you got to go in 0-second timeout. You got to go. Got to put you in that 0-second timeout, friend. There are some things. Again, just stay tuned. Liza's in 0-second timeout.
It's okay. It's just a setback. It's fine. I'll find something better, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, that's just where we're at right now. And just thought I would let you guys know, like, I'm just not having that great of a day, and I probably won't have that great of a week. So yeah, thanks for listening to that whole cluster. But this is just so messy. I can't. Hey guys.
Now, the first comment here says, why didn't you send in documentation if it was your dream job? Others saying, my thoughts exactly. You don't just risk stuff like that.
Okay, so we already know whatever this documentation was, it was tied to this quote unquote dream job. All right, so it's fair to say that this should have been front and center, top of priority. Let's keep it dancing. Let's go.
Another comment stating, if you already signed the lease in Tampa, just start applying for other jobs in Tampa and still go. I honestly feel like she's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Other comment saying, I'm confused that you got this dream job and didn't instantly send in documents, but you went and found an apartment and signed a lease, ... That's insane.
Johnny's on the button. Johnny's on the nut, on it right there. Yeah. And mind you, she is in St. Louis, Missouri, and her dream job is in Tampa, Florida. So she has an apartment. Well, she has an apartment in St. Louis. She has an apartment in Tampa at the current moment. And so that's where she is in the kerfuffle. But let's keep going.
Well, you guys, yesterday was a rough day, okay? Wallet of my feelings, ripped off my eyelashes, and I'm sleeping on my floor. I have spent the past 5 hours doing nothing but submitting job applications through Indeed and primarily looking up what it is that I want to do for work on Google, going to the website and then applying for it on the website, and then also sending an email. And I've also called multiple places as well. So I have a job interview scheduled for tomorrow. It's not really something that I'm super crazy about, but it definitely sounds interesting. But I thought I'd give you guys just a little bit of an update on how that's going.
Girl, I want to know what the document was and why was it sent late. And I understand she said this was her fault, but I'm just like, I feel like that's a key piece in the conversation that might be missing. Did you get sick? Was just life going on and maybe this documentation just slipped your mind, or did you not see the email and then it was too late? Like, what? And honestly, I think it's for the best that she stayed where she was, because imagine going to a city that maybe you're not familiar with no job, you know?
Yeah, what would you do? Hey, what would you do if you were in this situation, in this young girl's situation? Again, you didn't send in this documentation. We're going to find out what the documentation is shortly. You thought you had a job in another place in Tampa. You live in St. Louis. Would you stay in St. Louis and try to thug it out there? Would you go to Tampa and try to start off something new? What would you do? What would you try to do? And if you were this young lady and you already made the mistake, so what would you do? I would love to know what would some of y'all come up with. Because I don't know what I would do. I personally probably would stay in St. Louis because I know the city. But Tampa might be calling me too. I'm like, I might try to thug it out. If I can get somebody to help me out with 2 months rent, so I at least get my feet under me, I might try to thug it out. So let's go 70-30. So I'm 70% going to stay in St. Louis, but 30% of me is like a brand new place. Like, really? Why not? That was a good question. And we'll find out. We're going to get there in a second, MT. We're going to get there in a second. So, because the apartment thing was really problematic to me. But let's go.
Actually driving somewhere else unfamiliar, I think that would be less than ideal. And you know she was serious when she said she was sleeping on the floor. She was ready to go.
I'm not feeling super great today, but at least I'm doing something about it, you know what I mean? So yeah, we're making...
I don't understand this generation. That is a great point, Mr. B5. These video diary therapy sessions are diabolical. Because she's not getting the love and support that she really wants. But yeah, you are right on the button. I don't know if I would have done this.
Making progress somewhere, somehow. Everything happens for a reason. And yeah, I've decided that I'm going to stay in St. Louis. My lease for my apartment here ends August 17th. So I have until then to find a job down there and to move down there. So it's okay. Yeah, just thought I'd give you guys an update. Hopefully I end up with a job that I like of some sorts. I hope. But we will see. And thanks for all the love and support, guys.
Now, this is the one right here. It says, okay, but why did you submit the paperwork late? We all want to know. Yes.
Okay, here it comes. Here comes the paperwork. So we got documentation. This is really big. This is going to help out a lot.
Then somebody replied with, what a weird comment, lay off. And another saying, not weird when she made her situation very public. Honestly, I'd have to agree, because this is social media. I think it's a reasonable question to ask on social media. Nobody was being rude to her or anything, or saying anything outlandish that is totally uncalled for. But if the whole premise of you not getting your dream job is because you admit that you didn't submit paperwork for whatever reason, I think it's a rational question for the general public just to ask why. Why didn't you do it? And not that it changes anything right now, but with social media comes questions. It just does.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to answer anybody. But I was thinking the same thing. We get on social media and see a young girl crying in her car talking about essentially the fact that she might be homeless because the job fell through, and she was ready to transition her whole life to a whole nother city for her dream
Whole new
job.
state.
And then she's just saying, hey, the paperwork, I didn't have the paperwork. Naturally, did something happen? Because this is the dream job. It's very interesting here. It says, I think you're making a great decision. Don't come to Florida without a job secured. Look how bad the job market is here. Everyone is moving here and everybody wants office jobs. You're young, you'll be okay.
All right, you guys, so it's 4 p.m. I finally got out of bed,
Okay, here we go. We're now going to start ticking some of these boxes. We got documentation and HR. This is gonna help out. I think it's gonna help out. Let's go.
in my car and my eyes are dark circles. My eyes are still a little puffy. Don't have my lashes on, whatever. I applied to so many job applications today and I reached out to so many places today and I just wanted to lay in my bed and do absolutely nothing but that. But I literally need to get up and be active because I'm just being a couch potato with no couch, just a potato laying on the floor. And so yeah, I'm going to pick up leggings that I ordered last week. And then I'm gonna finally eat something. I haven't eaten anything at all today. And then I'm going to yoga later. And yeah, I got in contact with my old supervisor They're letting me still work for them here. So I will do
Nice.
that. A lot of you guys are asking why I didn't submit the paperwork. The paperwork that you're thinking of is like basic. Obviously, I submitted that. And when I was given this initial form, I filled it all out and I sent it back. And then they sent it back to me and was like, oh, you missed a couple spots. So I sent it again and then I sent it back and then they were like, oh, you need to get this notarized. And I was like, what the f does that even mean? I signed it off. I sent it back again. They're like, no, like this isn't notarized and you need to get it notarized. And I was like, what the f does that even mean? So I look it up. By this point, this is last week and I was in Florida looking for apartments. I did not have.
Whatever the paperwork was, she needed to have it notarized. And she did not know what it meant to get something notarized. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know. I felt sorry for her, but I'm like, somebody should, and somebody mentioned earlier that we had like job planning and career planning in high school. That is 1000% correct. Where is it? A dream job, but you didn't do everything, but she got an apartment up there, huh? I mean, yeah, I don't know how oh, there it is right there. Mid-sentence, wait. We taught these things in high school. That's the thing. A lot of this is, I felt bad for because I'm like, we're not teaching kids some very basic things that are very necessary. And the problem, I think, I was kind of conflicted. Because I'm like, you're using Google, you're using your phone clearly to search for jobs. You're using your phone clearly to search Indeed. Why did you not look up notarized? I'm sorry. It's not like, again, like, it's not like you couldn't have Googled it. I felt sorry for her, but then on the same note, I didn't. I like, baby, just, and if you send your job application in, your paperwork in, and they send it back and say you didn't finish it, I'm doing that thing twice over. My daughter's application for her parking spot is sitting right here on my desk. We done went over that thing twice. And I made her go over it twice, and then I went over and double checked what she's doing. We don't, and if they need it notarized, then we'll go get it notarized. Like, and somebody said, like, she sounds like she doesn't have family. And I don't know. I kind of feel sorry for her, because that was, again, like the dad part. I felt sorry for her because I'm like, where's your pops? Because President Firstborn, she had to get something notarized for school last year, and she came down here, Dad, I got to get this notarized. What does that mean? And we went and got it notarized, and I showed her how to do it and where to go and how to find a notary. But I felt bad for the young lady. I feel bad for her, but then again, it is a simple search. Somebody said right here, if you can't do a simple search, you're not ready for your dream job. Hold on to that singing chameleon, because that's going to come up in a moment as well. This was just sad to watch.
I strictly went down there to look for apartments and nothing else. So I did not have the time to do it. And then the weekend came, all the places to go to are closed. And then come Monday, I went and got it notarized and sent it, and they were like, it's too late.
Oh no. And I was gonna skip this when she talked about the yoga and the Pilates and the Lululemon, Starbucks.
Hey, leave Lululemon alone.
About to happen, but I said I'm here for the plot, and I'm glad I stayed, because we finally understand the reason that she didn't get the job is because they required something to be notarized. Very interesting. Now, being that I see that we have a phenomenon here of perhaps the younger generation not understanding what this might mean, I'll take the time to educate you all. And this is coming from a place of love, not judgment, because I too at one point did not know what a notary was, and neither did you watching. So let's just help each other out here. And what better place to go than nationalnotary.org? And it states here that notaries help deter fraud. Additionally, they confirm that signers of the documents understand the documents that they're signing. Additionally, it verifies that each signer is signing willfully and freefully. Going on to state that a notary will identify the signer, confirm willingness and awareness, and administer oaths and affirmations while overseeing the signing of the documents. Now, For many of us, we've had to use notaries for things like homes or legal matters, power of attorneys when you're trying to act on behalf of a certain person and use yourself as the authority for them. See, as you go through life, you may have to go to a notary or get a document notarized so they can ensure that fraud is not happening. Because when it comes to a lot of things, especially mortgages or medical things or legal practices or certain things that can be very serious that people might need to go to court over later, you might need to see a notary. And being that her job, or might I say, potential job was requiring this of her, in my opinion, they were serious. They were serious about something. And it's very unfortunate that she didn't just use Google to figure out what a notary was. Notary hours are very specific. Sometimes they're hard to find too. And they operate many times in short windows depending on where you live. But I would say this, if there is a dream job that any of you are chasing, if they are asking you for something you don't quite understand what that is, don't just sit in the idea of, I don't know what this is and it's not a big deal. By the time you
know
try
that's
to
what you
figure out
did
a lot
too.
of the stuff that might involve other professionals, you might get booted out your spot. And we have too much technology, y'all, for things like this to happen. And it's very unfortunate that a simple Google search wasn't used for her to understand what was being asked of her. Or even just calling them and saying, hey, I don't know what a notary is. I think that would have been better than having the delay in these documents. And I think she's young, right?
Oh,
But
yeah.
not only when it comes to your dream job should you be very serious, any job, if you really want it. And unfortunately,
I'm just going to jump in real quick. Shout out to Social Simone. I agree. Like, nailing down the job and getting all, if they send you 10 pieces of paperwork and you make sure that all those 10 have been turned in before you go secure an apartment. Because she could have, as somebody said earlier, she could have just rented an Airbnb for a month and got herself under, or, you know, week to week or however long. That would have been fine. She would have been fine with that. Leave your stuff in public storage. Get you an Airbnb. Get your job secured. But apparently, and in a moment, we're going to find out what the actual job is. Somebody asked, what was the job? We're going to find out what the actual job is as well. And it does make sense that this type of job probably does have like a high fraud. They don't want people, just anybody involved in this because of some of the legalities that could come because of it. But again, like, she ran down there and she was in Tampa, she said. That's the part I'm like, gosh, I want to feel sorry for you. But on the other note, I'm like, goodness gracious, you went to Tampa and didn't turn in all the paperwork and get everything notarized? And you heard the back and forth with HR. That's going to probably be problematic. That I'm the HR manager. You give me this paperwork, it's not correct. I send it back to you. You send it back to me again, it's not correct. I send it back to you, and then you send in, you finally get it in, and you turn it in late. I hate it for her. I really do. I mean, truth be told, when she signed the lease for the apartment, they probably had a notary there. You'd be surprised who's a notary. So anyway, let's finish this up with Simone.
for her, this will have to be a learning lesson. And
Yeah.
I think she'll be able to bounce back from it. But this was really avoidable. We literally have phones at our fingertips. And I think that's why this is so sad to me. The newer generation can get on TikTok, Instagram,
Clearly.
like, use all of these other technologies for non-serious things, but when it comes to something that seems as simple as this, unfortunately, that just didn't happen. It was just, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. And lackadaisical attitude. And that can be harmful, y'all.
That is what happened to me. It's a lesson learned. I did not know what that was. I did not understand. It was just a bunch of miscommunication and a little bit of delay on the communication on their end. But that's also, I take full accountability for not doing my research and understanding what that was. But this is not my first rodeo in social work. I've been in it for 2 years and I've never had to do this before. I've never had to get anything notarized and I did not know what it was. So now I know, and I will take it and I will apply it to whatever I need in the future, but I can't sit here and dwell on what happened to me yesterday. I need to move forward because dwelling on it will get me nowhere. So,
All right. And stop doing TikToks using profanity. She's in social work. So, of course, there's a level of legality that you need to have. So that's probably why, because she was out of town, they probably wanted her to get it notarized that she was going through the proper steps to get it signed. That makes sense. Like our church secretary was a notary. I mean, you'd be surprised where you can find notaries. They're all over the place. So I hate it for her, but let's finish this up because the last part is the going back and forth with HR, because I think that's probably also another reason why they booted her out.
Tomorrow, I will be calling all the places that I applied to today because I do like to give it about 24 hours before I start calling them and coming off like I'm crazy. But I'm going to make something of today and tomorrow will be better. So stay positive, girly pops. I'm a get through it.
And I'm glad she has a positive attitude. And I seen some comments saying she didn't take accountability. I think she did.
Yeah,
I think she
did.
made a mistake that unfortunately cost her her dream job. And I can tell it ate her up. It ate her up. Because it was probably right there, everything that she wanted, and just the word notary is probably triggering for her at this moment. But she's absolutely right. She can't do anything about it now. And sometimes in life, the opportunity is there, and you just need to be prepared and ready. And this video shows that. I think many people think that there will be second chances or times to redeem yourself with a lot of people you're encountering during your hiring process, and sometimes there's not no time. Sometimes there's not a do-over. Sometimes you make a mistake so costly that whatever you were trying to have or maintain is gone. And there's nothing you can do about it after that but move forward and try to have a positive attitude and just learn from it. And I'm glad that's what she's doing. And I want to go to the comments because it's very interesting here.
The comments crazy.
The first comment here says, word of advice. It was probably less about the time it took to get it done and more about the fact that you couldn't follow simple directions and read a document clearly after that many chances. Ooh. It gives lack of work ethic and not detail oriented, which both are main skills in social work. So with future jobs, pay attention, especially to all onboarding documents. And honestly, I couldn't agree more. And I think this was coming from a kind place. I didn't see a lie. Employers don't want to tell you something over and over and over, especially before you've officially even been onboarded. It's giving the impression that you have to get babysat, you have to get walked through everything. You need someone to explain every little thing to you.
Nobody gonna do it.
When you have a device at your fingertips that might be able to answer your question, that's not the impression you ever want to give. And I couldn't even imagine, like, imagine if she called them like, I didn't know what a notary was. As the hiring manager, I would be like, so you couldn't Google it? Did I need to tell? Because what else would I need to tell you? You know? But I digress. And someone here said it too. As a supervisor, this is my exact thought. Mine too. Mine too. And I don't think it was anything personal. I think it was just business. Another comment saying, this is the most Gen Z video ever. I don't know, ma'am. They said this girl got a college degree and didn't know what a notary was. Didn't even look it up when they told her. So insane. Now, I don't know if they told her, but we got too much technology. We got a plethora of technology nowadays. And it would have really radicalized me seeing any use of TikTok during the time when I was asking for this paperwork to be notarized. If you got time to get on the phone, you actually have time to Google what a word means. Honestly, I say that in the most, like, I know that sounds harsh, but honestly, just think about what I'm saying. You have the time. If you had time to go apply for a new apartment, you had time to, like, literally word by word assess what they were asking for. Others saying this generation is insane. Now, I can't confirm or deny she's Gen Z. Ma'am, that's the allegations they have against you right now. Is that you're Gen Z and that this is what Gen Z would do in this situation. And
so I started this off by saying that if you're a parent or grandparent, aunt or uncle, you work in a work environment, mentee, somebody at your church, you've seen this. Like this generation, and I don't know who this generation is, those kids, whatever it is, but there is a level of like not taking things and running with them and try to carry them all the way out to their fullness. It's like y'all got kids, you tell them take your dishes and put them in the take them to the kitchen. Well, they take the dish and they put it on the kitchen table. And then you say, well, why didn't you put it in the sink? And then they put it by the sink. And you're like, you got to keep walking through these steps. So maybe it's just me. Y'all pray for me. I think that that's why I said, I think this is part of that generation that they need this type of hand holding type of scenario. They're not like yourself or myself, maybe when we were going to college and we were really hunkering down to try to find scholarships or grants, or hunkering down to try to go to office hours with our professor and so on and so forth. These ones right here, they're just built differently. They're just built differently. And they got more technology than we could ever imagine.
And I'm hoping she's able to turn it around, honestly. Others saying you couldn't have waterboarded this story out of me. I need to know what y'all think about all this down below. Do you all think they were a little too harsh in not allowing her to still continue with her hiring process and not giving her the job? Or after hearing the why, do you think they were justified? Was it ever that deep? And tell me, what do y'all think about Gen Z allegedly not being the most resourceful when it comes to certain things? Allegedly. Can't confirm nor deny if this is true, because I think there are some very determined Gen Z workers out there. Do you think that this video is just giving some of them a bad rep? But nonetheless, we got to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.
All right, shout out to Social Simone. That link is down in the description. Tell me what y'all think, though, for real. I don't think it's everybody in that particular generation. We already know that. However, it's definitely more than a few. The comment said, you could not have waterboarded this whole video out of me. Basically, the person saying, I would never have told anybody that this had happened to me. That's basically what they're saying. Yeah, pray for Gen Z. Yeah, they saw what they was about to get into. No, they should have given it to her lazy behavior. That's part of the problem. No, they should not. I'm sorry, have given it to that lazy behavior. Absolutely, yeah. Sometimes I say, like, Batman could not have beat that out of me, right? Or you couldn't have rode a truck over me to get that comment out of me. You know, that kind of stuff. Basically, I wouldn't be telling my deepest, darkest secrets on TikTok, is what they're saying. Summation, bringing it up. So I just thought that was super interesting. I thought Social Simone did a great job of bringing that to bear. I thought I got a good little chuckle out of it. I thought y'all would too. So shout out to the best live chat on the internet. We got some brand new members up in here. What's going on? Ashley up in here. Ash Bay, brand new member. Welcome. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Shout out to you. And let's get keeping it moving now. Again, tonight for Friday Night Lights, we're all over the place. We've been talking about a young lady not getting his job, her dream job. Now we're about to jump into politics, but we're gonna do it a little bit differently than you probably expect. So JD Vance was on the Joe Rogan show recently. I believe some people sent me that video to look into, and I do think that it was useful. But a lot of people looked at the long form video. So we actually got Dr. Jesus Orosa. He is going to do the body language explanation of JD Vance, which I think is super interesting. So I'm going to bring that in here. But real quick, shout out to DJW, Jay with civilians regardless of generation are like that in corporate America. It's annoying me since leaving the military. Yeah, there's a lot to that. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. So let's bring Dr. Rosas in here. And I'm going to put mine over here. That looks good. All right, with no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get at it. Let's get active. We'll get you some volume there. And when you hear it, green hearts in the chat. Let's go.
Remarks on Iran's negotiations and Israel have caused an internet meltdown. Watch.
You know, there's a lot of talk about how much is the Israeli government influencing American politics, and there are certainly certain people within the Israeli government who hate the deal, and we see exact evidence. There was a Times story that came out yesterday that basically there are certain influencers in America who are being paid in order to attack the deal, that we can basically, you can wave a magic wand with the military and accomplish whatever you want. And, you know, it's not that simple.
Quick catch up if you missed the week. The U.S. and Iran signed a ceasefire deal in June. The deal has been falling apart in public, and Vance has been the administration's lead defender of the negotiation track. Now, notice how reasonable he starts. There was a real Time magazine story about influencers being paid to attack the deal with actual foreign agent registration filings behind it. It is a style Time magazine, which I really don't know why J.D. Vance would have it as reference, but anyway, he mentions Time magazine a second time.
When I open up the pages of Time magazine and I see that there's a literal foreign influence campaign being funded to tank the very deal that I was pursuing, and oh, by the way, many of the people who were receiving that money were actually attacking me in completely dishonest ways, you know, my response to that is, well, go to hell. I'm going to do what I have to do for the American people. I represent Americans first, and that's the way that I've tried to do this job.
Did you catch that shift? When Vance talks about ideology, about people who simply disagree with him, his voice is even, almost generous. The moment it becomes about him, and you heard it, attacking me in completely dishonest ways, that's when he gets the go to hell. So the grievance here is not strategic. The grievance is personal, and that matters for everything that comes after this point. Because here's my honest first question. How exactly do mean posts on social media derail a nuclear negotiation between two governments? I mean, walk me through the mechanism, because that's not how any of this works. If your negotiation collapses, it collapses at the table in Tehran or in Washington, not in a quote tweet. And honestly, this reads like Meghan Markle levels of whining. I don't think Vance is a bad negotiator. I think he might just be a bad loser, and there's a difference. But he also wants to be fair about Israel.
Israel is an ally. Like France or like the United Kingdom, we're going to have disagreements with them. We're going to have agreements with them. There are areas where we're going to have similar interests and areas where our interests are going to diverge. So my approach to this is to say, you know what? When we're partnered, great, let's work together. And we're not, let's just be honest about it. And for that, people attack me for being an anti-Semite or anti-Israel, and they don't see the writing on the wall that I'm actually just the guy advocating for a normal relationship with a normal country that's based around shared interest as opposed to based around, you know, something else.
Now, this is the strongest version of Vance, and I want to give it credit. An ally like France or the United Kingdom, there are going to be agreements and disagreements, a normal relationship with a normal country. As a standalone position that's coherent, and a lot of younger Americans, including younger Republicans, agree with him. But watch what the framing is doing. He brings up the anti-Semitism accusation. That is a shield planted early so that everything he says afterward gets filed under honest friend, not under accuser. Remember that, because he's about to need it. But inevitably, the conversation pivots about the theory that Israel somehow controls politicians in the United States.
I mean, why wouldn't you? It's a country of 9 million people. We have 330 million people. And so, of course, they're going to try to persuade Americans. They're going to try to move Americans in one direction or another. I think that's just the nature of the beast.
But it's more than that. The concern is that they're spying on American politicians, that there's concerns about funding, there's concerns about influence, there's concerns about whether or not politicians whether they're aligned with Israel or whether they're aligned with the United States first.
Now, it's funny that people always mention Israel influence, and it's also interesting that Vance used the words, the nature of the beast. But if you compare, for example, the per capita foreign lobbying spending in America from 2016 to 2024, you see that Qatar has spent 40 times more money than Israel to, well, let's say, influence Americans. So yes, it's the equivalent of 40 Israels. I really don't see 40 times the outrage outline about Qatar. So yeah, something is going on here. But notice that two things just happened in 30 seconds. First, Vance normalized the whole thing himself. 9 million people trying to persuade 330 million. That is the nature of the beast. His words. So by his own framing, Israel lobbying America is normal, expected, business as usual. But then Rogan does his job and Rogan escalates. This is not lobbying, it's also spying on American politicians, questions about funding, questions about whether some politicians answer to Israel or to the United States first. But that is a much heavier question than paid influencers. So now watch very carefully which question Vance actually answers.
Things. But I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there have been people within the Israeli government who are trying to actually shift us away from that policy because they want to continue the military campaign. And by the way, there are people within their government that I love, I have good relationships with. I hope, and I don't think that they're part of this. I mean, the ambassador of Israel to the United States, I think, is actually a really good guy. Obviously, he cares about Israel first. I care about America first. But there are some people within their system we know beyond a shadow of a doubt who are manipulating and trying to change American public opinion to keep the war going on indefinitely. Again, not towards any objective, but just indefinitely. So
he answered the influence question, the safe one. Rogan asked about spying on American politicians, and Vance gave him a passionate answer about public opinion campaigns, which is the thing he had already called the nature of the beast 1 minute earlier. The spying question just evaporated and almost nobody noticed. Now, inside the previous answer, there are 3 signals I want you to see. First, he says, beyond a shadow of a doubt, twice. That's courtroom certainty language, and he attaches it to an accusation with no names, no agency, no document, just people within their system. Second, the ambassador curved out. He said, the ambassador is actually a really good guy. Yeah, he's not complimenting him. That is an insurance policy planted before the accusation, so there's a named person he can point to later and say, hey, see, I never meant everyone. And third, the motive. Listen to that again. They, we still don't know who they are, but okay. They want the war to keep going, not towards any objective, but just indefinitely. Okay, so we are talking about a villain with no goal. And that's where the whole claim breaks. Because what does Israel actually gain from a forever war with no endpoint? Israel's stated goal in this entire conflict has been the opposite of indefinite. Israel wants Iran's nuclear program gone permanently and a government in Tehran that can't rebuild it. That is a demand for a decisive ending, not a request for forever, because an endless campaign burns money, burns runway and international patience, and Israel has far less of all 3 than the United States does. So if you're looking for who's actually been wrecking this deal in public, you don't need a shadowy campaign. You just need a TV set. Because the same week this interview happened, President Trump stood at a NATO summit in Ankara and called the Iranian regime scum, sick people, and said the ceasefire was basically over. So that is not an Israeli influence operation. That is Vance's own boss on camera, and it fits something I wrote about before. Trump sent Vance in as the moderate so that Tehran would look deranged by contrast. A reasonable offer designed so that rejecting it costs Iran the story. Maybe the deal was always an off-ramp that the regime was never going to take, and by the number of recent strikes on Iran, somebody in Washington already concluded that bombs are the stronger argument. Which, by the way, is what Netanyahu has been pushing for from the start. So, Vance ends up blaming angry posts for the collapse of a negotiation that his own president was dismantling on live television. Because, breaking news, guys, one does not simply negotiate with the Iranian regime. Now, hold on to that beyond a shadow of doubt. Because 2 hours later, in the same interview, Vance's standards of evidence go somewhere very different when he talks about Epstein's connections to CIA and Mossad.
Connections to the highest levels of American intelligence. He clearly had connections to the highest levels of Israeli intelligence. In fact, one of the interesting things the Epstein saga reveals about, and I try to make this point, is one of the reasons why I'm always careful, and I say there are some elements within the Israeli government who don't like our peace process, because there are a lot of elements within the Israeli government that actually do like our peace process. They recognize that this indefinite campaign is not good for them either. And the Epstein thing is interesting because as much as I know, Prime Minister Netanyahu, not a particularly popular person in the United States of America right now, Epstein seemed to be connected to the elements of the Israeli deep state that were left of center. Like, I've always found that fascinating. It wasn't like he was super connected to the right of center of Israeli politics.
This is the same man in the same 3 hours, but listen to the language change. For the influence campaign, it was beyond a shadow of a doubt. For Epstein and Israeli intelligence, it seemed to be connected, and I have always found that fascinating. So we got certainty when he's accusing, but we got curiosity when he's speculating. And that switch is not an accident. That's how you float a claim while keeping the exit open. And he's not a podcaster. He's the Vice President of the United States. If anyone on this planet can check whether Epstein was tied to any intelligence service, it's the man with access to all of it. So either he has seen something, in which case he should bring a name, a document, a date, something, or he hasn't, in which case, why does the vice president talk like a guy guessing from the outside? And if the answer is that the documents were destroyed, I went through this a long time ago. You cannot erase every trace. It's simply not possible. There's always a money trail, a flight record, a witness. And there's one more detail in that clip almost everyone missed. Vance says Epstein was connected to the elements of the Israeli deep state that were left of center. So think about how convenient that is. The conspiracy gets to exist, but it belongs to the other political wing, safely away from Netanyahu and his allies. So he made sure to sort the scandal by party before anyone has seen a single receipt. And one last thought experiment. By Vance's own definition, the danger is not lobbying, because everybody lobbies. The danger is unnamed, unaccountable people quietly moving American opinion without evidence or a vote. So, what do you call the second most powerful man in the country floating an unverified intelligence theory to tens of millions of listeners with zero receipts? Wouldn't that make him part of the deep state he keeps warning us about? Yeah, no, it's not a good look, and not a good look for Trump either. I want to give Vance the benefit of the doubt, but when he borrows his talking points from Tucker Carlson, it's really, really hard to take him seriously. But again, I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. And remember that I have a geopolitics analysis channel, The Power Pundit, and make sure to go and subscribe there too.
Oh, I never did that.
My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Bottle Language Guy. Much love and bliss.
All right. Shout out to Dr. Rosas. I appreciate him. I just thought that was interesting because a lot of people have been talking about the Joe Rogan, J.D. Vance interview. I thought it would be good to pull in. Thank you so much, Tina. There's his link to his channel. The link to that video is down in the description as well. Yeah, there's a lot of people. The Epstein, what do they call it? The Epstein class. There's just a lot of things that are going on there that I think people, if you were serious about it, we would go ahead and call these people out about it and make moves accordingly. But I don't think they're serious. I think it's just meant to be a bludgeon. Shout out to Brano. What's going on, brother? I appreciate you. Thank you for the 10, my friend. Grace and peace to you. All right. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Now, yesterday, last evening, Trump did and gave a speech. And by the way, why does he not use Truth Social to put out content like this? And he was on the major news outlets, and a lot of the major news outlets didn't actually play or give his speech in real time. They had to actually record it in such a nature. But why do they do that? Why doesn't he use Truth Social to put out content? Wait, let me see this real quick. I would never hire somebody who doesn't know what motorized is. You mean notarized is, and isn't smart enough to figure it out. I just don't think I hate to say it. I think this generation, they just don't. If you're wondering, the video that we watched to start was a young lady who lost a good job because she did not know how to get something notarized, and she didn't do her due diligence. And you check it out. It was a really interesting video. Shout out to Social Simone, who was talking about that. I just thought it was very interesting because, again, if you're in this age bracket that I'm in this stage of life, you're probably mentoring, coaching your own child or a family member or maybe somebody on in your workplace that is trying to navigate this space as they become adults. So shout out for sure. I did ask, let me see real quick. I don't see it. Okay, I was just wondering, why does Trump not use Truth Social more? It just seemed like that would probably fix a lot of his communications. Like use that. Why is he not? Or even X. Really, truly, why is he not using those? But anyway, Dr. G was looking at Trump's Save America Act speech from last night. So let's pull him in, Dr. G. It says Trump's Save America Act speech was he sundowning philosophy and body language. So let's go. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
And forensic psychologist, as well as a body language expert. And today, we're going to be analyzing the behavior and body language of President Trump during his most recent primetime speech. Before we get started with this, couple of quick things. One, I wanted to make sure you know this is not a psychological evaluation of any kind. These are just my opinions. In addition to that, I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, let's go. What we're going to be analyzing today is President Trump's behavior and his body language during his recent primetime speech on voter fraud and election integrity. If you watch this channel, you may have seen that recently I've been covering various mental glitches that President Trump's been having during speeches, and this speech is no different. We're going to be analyzing all of those glitches, all of those various challenges, and I'm going to talk about what they could possibly be. Now, some of my videos are forensic analyses on what people are discussing. It's not really going to be the content of what he's talking about so much. It's really more about how he's behaving. All right, let's just jump right in.
Secure elections should be a partisan, we should be together, Democrats, Republicans, independents, everybody, and it should not be a partisan issue. It should cause to unite us, not to divide us. This should be a cause. We should be united, not divided.
There was a whole lot in just that clip, and I'm going to go through and explain all of this as we go, but I wanted to give you an idea of where we are headed with this.
Because no country can be great without fair and honest elections. You have to trust your country, because if there can be no trust.
This is almost the beginning of the speech. What we're going to be looking at is clips over the course of the speech. We're going to be watching the clips in order. At this point, he's pretty disciplined as far as staying on the teleprompter. I'm going to show you some interesting body language that already starts to come up, though.
No greatness, and that's very simple. No trust, no greatness. For many years, I've called for bold, swift, and decisive action to protect the integrity of America.
Now, one thing you're already seeing is that he's very bunched up. He looks very tightly wound right now.
He does.
Now, President Trump historically is someone that can seem somewhat relaxed when he is speaking in front of people. That's really not what you're going to see tonight.
To protect the integrity of America's elections.
And you're also seeing, you're going to see this a lot. He does a lot of that because there's a lot of agitation under the surface. He does this more seemingly at night than he does during his daytime speeches. We see a distinct difference, and it's becoming more pronounced. I'm going to talk about why that might be in just a few once we get to some other behaviors. But I want you to pay attention. After he finishes with a lot of comments, we're seeing anger, baring of the teeth, gritting of the teeth.
Decisive action to protect the integrity of America's elections. Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure.
Now, what President Trump is doing right here is quite different than what we typically see. As he's talking, he's not emphasizing. What he typically does, he brings his hands out. He emphasizes a lot. He uses his hands dramatically to make certain points. What we're seeing right now is as he's speaking, he steps back, he puts his arms to his sides, and he's slumped over a little bit, actually, which is opposite of what we normally see. Typically, when we see him step back from the podium, if he's going to do something like this, he might clap for himself, or you're going to see some other behavior go along with it. Him just standing there, highly unusual. We're going to see a lot more of that, actually.
Accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure, one where cheating and interference are not just difficult, but virtually impossible. Unfortunately, the system we have today falls catastrophically short.
Here's another sign of anger we're seeing when he's saying catastrophically. I want you to see this face in a freeze frame so it gives you an idea of what the real emotion is underneath it.
Unfortunately, the system we have today falls.
You can see the brow. You can see he's baring his teeth. Baring the teeth is an aggressive sign. It's something very deeply primitive within humans. And so we're seeing a lot of that from him tonight.
Catastrophically short of that standard. Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence election infrastructure. This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerous.
Now, you'll notice when he was talking about evidence, you saw his elbow jump up. Now, it looked involuntary. We're starting to see more of these involuntary movements. You're going to see more of it in a more exaggerated way later on, actually. It seems like strong emotions are causing these involuntary jerks, and that is significant. We're going to see more of that in an exaggerated way later, but I want you to see this again.
This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes and really exposes like levels never thought possible to hacking.
Now we're seeing issues with word finding, using words such as like. That's unusual for President Trump. So I think we're seeing him right now struggle to find the correct words because mostly he's just reading off a teleprompter. Right. That shouldn't be that difficult. But when he wants to really emphasize something, he always goes off the cuff. He starts making up his own speech as he goes. We're seeing some real challenges right here.
And really exposes like levels never thought possible.
Exposes like levels never thought possible. It's going to get worse.
The hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference, just as disturbingly this vital information is for many.
And you can see his body bunching in. When he said disturbingly, you can actually see him tensing up. And this is unusual for President Trump. He's not somebody that tends to show a lot of anxiety, a lot of nervousness. And the fact that we're starting to see that now is concerning.
Just as disturbingly, this vital information has for many years been millions of voters' data in 18 states have been bought, stolen, or hacked by China. Yet those responsible for sounding the alarm instead.
Now we're starting to hear some slip-ups in terms of how he's pronouncing words, and this is only going to get worse throughout this. I want you to listen very closely here, because if you're not paying attention to what he's saying, your brain can fill in things because of the context, but listen closely.
By China. Yet those responsible for sounding the alarm instead.
The word responsible was not articulated at all. We can figure out what he meant because of context. And then when he said alarm, it came out alarm. That's not typically how he says it. I get that he may have a New York accent, but that's not normally how he would do this during a speech. So we're seeing as it gets later, as he's giving the speech, as it's going longer, he is struggling more to get words out.
By China. Yet those responsible for sounding the alarm instead kept the information secret and hidden. They did not disclose to me as president.
See, there was another word right there. Disclose. Instead of disclose, he's capable of enunciating these, and it's not just a word here and there. He's doing this a lot.
Secret and hidden. They did not disclose to me as president or to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact,
so what is it that we are possibly seeing? Now, there is always the possibility that we're seeing something like sundowning. And for anybody who's unfamiliar with what sundowning means, for people with neurological impairments such as dementia, late afternoon, early evening into the night, people with these issues can become more confused, more agitated. They can be more anxious. There's more emotional distress. Speaking becomes more difficult. There's more word finding issues. We see more pronounced impairments in the evening and at night than we do during the day. Now, I know people say this is just exhaustion, but I don't think so. What we're seeing is so dramatically different than just exhaustion that I don't think that adequately explains all the behaviors we're seeing. Because so far, we're already seeing changes in emotions. We're seeing word finding issues. We're seeing verbal fluency issues. And I'm going to show you more because it progressively gets worse.
My first administration.
Real quick, because I know people were wondering. I wanted to watch this. I like Dr. G. I think in a lot of other instances, he's right on the money. I just, every now and then, I like to hear somebody that maybe I disagree with, or maybe I don't agree with, think that they're right on the button, simply because it gives me a different perspective. And I do want to, pay attention to, I'm praying for Trump. I want him to remain healthy and strong throughout the rest of his term as president and then into his later years. So I do pray for Trump, and I want him to remain healthy. I also don't want to be obtuse and ignore something if there's something there that we might miss. Now, as some of this I do think is a little bit of Trump trying to stay on brand a little bit, because we've seen him just go off the rails and he just talks. And those are some fun speeches. This one, I think he's really trying to stay on the actual teleprompter, even though he is making a few slight errors. He is making some pronunciation mishaps. I don't think it's as bad as Dr. G is saying, but I wanted to hear what Dr. G is saying, because I do think Dr. G is a fair dealer, in my opinion. But we're almost done, by the way.
In our 2020 campaign, they did not want, and they just didn't want it. They fought like hell not to have it, Donald Trump, to win, and for good reason. As the documents we are.
So that whole sequence doesn't make any sense. It starts off with a little verbal flub, but if you really listen closely to what he says afterward, it's incoherent. Listen to this again.
They did not want, and they just didn't want it. They fought like hell not to have it, Donald Trump, to win, and for good reason, and pay them large sums of money to write more negative articles about him, as many as they could, and they didn't care what they said. The Chinese government wanted U.S. president to lose the next election, and the reason they wanted.
There it goes again. Listen to this sentence. The Chinese wanted U.S. president, not they wanted me, not they wanted President Trump. It's a very, very odd sentence.
More negative articles about him, as many as they could, and they didn't care what they said. The Chinese government wanted U.S. president to lose the next election, and the reason they wanted, official inside the FBI wrote that she was running, quote, a shadow government.
There was that elbow twitch again when he's talking about things that really agitate him. We're seeing more of that. Just keep watching this right here. You're going to see it a couple of times.
I did it again, y'all. I muted myself. So I wanted to just give you an opportunity to hear Dr. G again. I think Dr. G is a fair dealer. I only wanted to play up to that portion of it. If you're interested in watching the rest of it, the link is down in the description. I definitely wanted to give you a chance to just hear. I don't know if Dr. G is making, I know he's not making a medical diagnosis at all. But he's just saying, like, these are some things that people are picking up on, and so on and so forth. And I think we can take those and say, okay, let's continue to pray for Donald Trump in this regard. Maybe he is sleepy. I mean, he is the president of the United States, and he is, 80 years old. So there's a lot working against him than there is working for him. So let's just be mindful of that. So I just thought that was interesting. Again, Dr. G's video is down in the description. Definitely want to give you a chance to check that out and move from there. Govern yourselves accordingly. Govern yourselves accordingly. Shout out to everybody. Thank you so much to everyone who's jumped into the best live chat. I just got an email from somebody, and I thought it would be super cool because they also just did a video. So I'm going to let you know that next week we have a guest coming on the channel. And I'll just tell y'all ahead of time, since you all are here, don't be going around telling everybody and their cousins, right? It's just us right here. Here, coming up here to the front of the church. We have a guest coming on next Friday for Friday Night Lights, which I think you all will enjoy. Matter of fact, I know you all will enjoy her because most of you all support her already. And who am I talking about, Jason? We're talking about Natalie Biesner is going to be coming on the channel next week. So she did a video, just a quick short that I thought was super on the button. looking at some of the inconsistencies of she who was named Candace. So let's cleanse our palate from some of the more complex things into some of the a little lighter, if you will. So let's bring this in. Natalie, what you got to say? Come on up here, Nat. Let's go. Green Hearts in the chat where you can hear.
The people who are obsessively claiming that Charlie and Candace were friends until the very end, and that Charlie just always knew that Candace would be his David, whatever the hell that means. They're the same people who are baselessly claiming that Charlie married a murderous, obviously psychotic psychopath, honeypot, and that he surrounded himself with people who would later betray him. Like, by their own words, Charlie essentially could not discern a good person from a bad person, literally, to save his life. Candace says he was betrayed by everyone. His whole life was the Truman Show. And so by these people's own argument, not by mine, I think all of this is terribly disrespectful to Charlie, and it like breaks my heart, but by their own argument, Charlie's discernment, his picker, his ability to choose people, good people, was way off. And so him choosing Candace as a friend is actually meaningless and might actually be an indictment on her, if anything, given his track record and all the other people he chose, including his wife. I mean, isn't that kind of suspicious? How can it be that Candace is the single good person that Charlie ever knew, the only good person that Charlie ever knew? If anything, maybe she should be investigated, given Charlie's track record of picking friends and allies. See, if these were honest people here in good faith, they would apply their own standard equally. If having a close relationship with Charlie and being liked or even loved by him, if that is absolutely meaningless and it does not lend a person credibility, then don't pretend that it magically lends Candace credibility. Don't be posting old photos. Don't be posting old texts allegedly from him, because it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't matter that he chose you as a friend. It doesn't matter if you guys were friends until the end, which I don't believe. It does not matter, because look at who he chose as his wife. Look at who he chose as his employees. Look at who he chose as his COO. Look at all these other people who you claim were awful people that he chose. So again, his discernment was off. His picker was off. Don't act like it magically lends credibility to Candace. Don't trash every single one of Charlie's relationships, every single one of a dead man's relationships, and then obsessively highlight a former friendship with like 8-year-old photos and 8-year-old texts allegedly from him. It shows how dishonest these people actually are. It shows what a double standard they have. It shows how illogical they are and how they always are arguing competing narratives. Don't pretend like it means anything that Charlie was friends with Candace if it doesn't even mean anything that he chose this woman as his wife. The people
Great catch.
Who are
shout out to Natalie, and I think she was right on the button. And I am definitely of the ilk that Candace is the problem, that Candace is the actual problem, because she's the one that's framed all these relationships in this negative light. Nobody was saying that about Andrew, Blake, Erica, until Candace started coming in with her framing. And, you know, those people are bad. Everybody around them was bad except Candace. That doesn't make any sense. You just can't make that make sense. So the fact that she's gotten this far afield and nobody on Candace's team has been able to say, you know, you might be the problem. Like, you could be the problem. It might not be all these other people. It might actually be you. And I think that's something to consider, especially if you're a Candace supporter. You know, where do you land with that? But we'll find out, because Natalie will be on the channel on next week. So shout out to Natalie. Thank you so much. There's her channel. Make sure you, thank you, Tina. If you could go by her channel, make sure you support her. Definitely subscribe to her and let her know we're looking forward to her coming over the Jay Witt podcast next week. And I'll keep you all up to date on that for next Friday. Guess what? We're going to keep our palate cleanse going. Let's keep our palate cleanse going. I think I've heard everybody. I've heard you. So go ahead in the chat and just type in the letter AMI. I heard y'all, people. I heard you. Yes, I heard you. Just put AMI in the chat. I heard. I saw the requests. I've gotten your emails. I got your texts. I got your DMs, email and management. Just go ahead and flood Ami in the chat. We need to have Ami back on. That's what I need to do. While we're watching this, I'm going to text him. We need to get Ami back on here. Y'all put Ami in the chat. Just flood the chat with Ami. Let us know. I heard y'all. I heard you. Ami, you don't know who Ami is? Oh, my word. I guarantee you'll know in a second. Anyway, y'all, with no further ado, let's bring Ami, well, not Ami onto the channel, but, sort of, kind of. Come on up here to the front of the church, Ami. Let's go. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
All right, you guys, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. As you all know, I was on vacation, grieving. I was grieving. Obviously, we're all watching this circus, this sham of a trial, of a court trial going on. As all of you know, the slop, the court slop is rolling out, and we are going to triple down in our pursuit of the truth. Let's just take a look at some of the footage from the trial, some of which I found very interesting, okay? Very interesting. Let's take a look at the judge's reaction to Charlie's assassination, and if you look very closely, you find something very interesting. It's very interesting. Let's take a look. As you can see, he's watching, and there it is. Of course, the Zionist Mafia is saying that he was shocked when he watched this, that he suddenly blinked, but that looked like a wink to me. Who is the judge winking at? When, as he's watching the tape, he's winking. Who's he winking at? Who's he winking at? Who is the judge coordinating with in this video? Brian Harpel? Frank Turek? Who are you winking at? Who are you winking at? Like, I got you. I find it very interesting that the exact moment and time of Charlie's assassination, we have a judge who's winking at someone in the video. Is he saying job well done? Is he saying mission accomplished? We are going to look into that. We are going to dig deeper into that and find out why this judge was winking. Who's he winking at? Is he winking at Ben Shapiro? Is he winking at those in the crowd carrying Israeli cell phones? I don't know. We'll see. You guys, they think we're stupid. They think we're stupid. Next up, of course, we have a confession, an insane confession by Jeremy Boring. Jeremy Boring, when asked where he was when Charlie was shot, when he found out, he said he was in the shower.
In the shower.
In the shower.
In the shower.
Really, Jeremy? Why would you be in the shower conveniently when Charlie was getting killed? Why would you be in the shower? Were you cleaning off DNA? I knew it. I always knew there was something satanic, something demonic about Jeremy Boring, something obsessive about Jeremy Boring. And the fact that he would be in the shower during Charlie's assassination, the fact that he would be in the shower is very suspicious. It's very interesting. Why would you be taking a shower while Charlie Kirk is getting killed unless you want to clean off DNA evidence of your involvement? What were you cleaning off, Jeremy? What were you trying to hide? What were you cleansing yourself of? Was it guilt? As we continue uncovering the events of that day with this story, we find out that no one was giving Charlie CPR. Why was no one giving Charlie CPR? It got me thinking, what does CPR actually stand for? And if you dig deeper, you realize maybe it stands for Creepy Pedophiles of Renthan? You guys, we're getting so close. We're getting so close. Creepy Pedophiles of Renthan, of course. They held off on doing that because CPR stands for Creepy Pedophiles of Renthan. And now we know what their true motivations were in the back of that car. Now, as I looked more and more at the footage from that day, I couldn't help but notice, wonder, not only were so many people wearing maroon, but all the men were wearing pants. Why were the men wearing pants? Why were all of them wearing pants? And not just pants, but jeans. A lot of people wearing jeans on that day. And then suddenly I remembered who was the most popular jean manufacturer, who's one of the most popular jean companies, is none other than Levi Strauss, who's a Frankist. Levi Strauss, who makes jeans, who conveniently on that day had a lot of these young men all wearing jeans. You guys. Levi Strauss, who was a Zionist, was a Frankist, was part of the Zionist Mafia, part of the Zionist cult, and they are satanic. And I believe Ben Shapiro's father was also seen recently wearing jeans, but we will verify that for you. We will get that for you. And I have sources who I will not name, but I have very reliable sources that claim that they saw Ben Shapiro's father wearing jeans in Florida. Okay, you don't wear jeans in Florida. It's too hot to wear jeans in Florida. But he was wearing jeans on that day from Levi Strauss. A source also tells me Bill Ackman was wearing jeans in the Hamptons. It's all connected. It all makes sense, you guys. It all makes sense.
It all makes sense.
Stupid. So we're on to you, Daily Wire. We're on to you, Ben Shapiro. We see you for what you are. We see your father for who he is and the jeans that he wears from Levi Strauss. You can see it. It's so obvious. We see it. And you're not going to get away with this. Okay, I always knew there was something wrong. I always knew there was something off. Jeremy Boring in the shower at the time of Charlie's death. Washing off DNA.
Washing off DNA.
Them not doing CPR because it stands for creepy pedophiles of Remphan. It all adds up. It all makes sense. And I've always felt this. I've always felt this so deeply. So we will not stop. We will not stop until we get to the truth. Let's take some of your comments. Candy Cult Forever 88 writes, Hey Candace, glad you're back. My asshole itches and I think Ben Shapiro was the cause. I agree. I totally agree. There was always something off about Ben Shapiro. And when I worked at Daily Wire, my asshole would itch and I would every time I'd walk by him, every time I would walk by Ben, I'd like, there's something going on there. I think there were bees. Mommy Sleuth Hubby in the Closet 44 writes, Hey Candace, Charlie came to me in a dream last night too and said you were right about everything. I'm telling you, he's making his rounds. He's making his rounds, especially now because he knows that I'm his David. Brain Dead Candy Lover 9 writes, Lance Twigs, Lance Bass, NSYNC, bye. Sounds like a threat. It's going to be me. Candace, it was supposed to be you. Coincidence? I think not. I totally agree. It's amazing observationality, and I agree with that. Last comments from G Farmer 613. You are an effing nut job. Come upstairs now. Wait, how did that go through? Can we scratch that? Can we erase that? Okay, we'll take that out. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for your comments. Thanks so much for your feedback. Thank you so much for staying with me on this journey because it's not about me. It's not just about Charlie. It's about all of us. We are going MaxiPad. We are going hard. And I'm going to collect more intel. We're getting so close. You guys, stay tuned for next week's episode. In the meantime, I'm going to collect more intel in the best way I know how. In my dreams, where I see Charlie. See you next episode.
Y'all pray for Ami Kozak, man. Shout out to Ami Kozak. If the mods could just please make sure we drop Ami's link in the chat. I really appreciate it. I don't know what to do with that, man. All right, let's get to some serious topics here. In the chat, real quick. If you homeschool, could you please, I told y'all, we're all over the place tonight. We are all over the place. We're going everywhere. If you homeschool or if you did homeschool, could you just put homeschool in the chat? And if you didn't homeschool, it's okay too. Don't worry about that part. Just want to see if you did, in fact, homeschool your little people. He really is funny. I do like him. And we're going to try to get him back on the channel. I just text him. Okay, we got some homeschoolers in there. Okay, we got homeschool people. All right, shout out to the homeschool families. Shout out to them. That's a lot of y'all. Wow, okay. Okay. Shout out to them. Okay. Oh, that counts too. Yeah, if you were homeschooled, I'll let you have that. Absolutely, Anna. If you were homeschooled or if you did homeschool. Whew. Okay, so Ben Shapiro did a segment yesterday. About, I don't know how people listen to this particular podcaster. She's a leftist podcaster. I don't even know how people listen to her. But they went off on homeschool parents, even as far as to cast. I've never heard this argument that there's something creepy about parents that want to homeschool their kids because they got their kids around them 24 hours a day. And this person she didn't make the outright claim, but you'll understand that she's making a claim that there's something wrong with parents. Well, she does say it. She does say that there's something wrong with parents that want to have their kids around them all the time. I like my kids. And President firstborn is in the living room right now, and chief executive secondborn. I like my kids, and I told them the only thing only regret I have is that we didn't have more of them. I felt like we started too late. I wish I had more of them, but I love my kids. I got no problem with my children. I got no problem with my spouse. I like my family. It just seems weird. This is going to be a weird one right here, y'all. I promise you. I'm going to let Ben tease it out. I'm not going to even interrupt it a lot. I don't know if you've all seen this. And the link will be down in the description, so you can go back and watch this yourself. But these podcasters are saying that basically people who homeschool are not intelligent. Homeschooling is easy, and there's something wrong with parents that want their kids around them all the time. This one is a reach right here. Clearly, homeschooling is causing a problem to these people, because this one right here is just a pure reach. Now, you can make an argument for homeschooling or an argument against homeschooling that doesn't have to be this character assassination, but you'll see in a second. It is right. Like, I'm going to just let them tease it out. I'm not going to even interrupt this one. I'm going to put this one up. I'm going to let them come up to the front of the church and just going to let them talk, because it's so bad. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, this cannot be serious conversation where like real human adults are making these claims. And that's the other thing. Your kids actually like you. That's another thing. Like, I like my kids, and for the most part, as far as I know, they like me. They like their mom. We like each other, right? They just want to poison our children's minds. No question at all, Jenny. No question at all. All right, let me just bring this in. I'm gonna let y'all watch it. Ben takes them down. Ben deals with them. But I just thought this was a wild take. Let's go. Greenheart's in the chat when you can hear.
I am so exercised about the issues the right is experiencing right now is because I would like to see conservatism win. I want to beat the Democrats in elections more than anything, but it's especially important right now because the Democrats have lost their minds. For the few sane people that are still in the Democratic Party, they seem to be refusing to do or say anything about that. And we have an insane take for you today, this time from the insufferable wine mom, podcaster, socialist revolutionary, Jennifer Welch. The mainstream Democrats are embracing the commies. They've just been eaten by the commies. There was a House Democratic resolution. It was actually promoted by Thomas Massie, the bewilderingly insane Republican who's been ousted in a primary, to defund all military aid to Israel. It was voted for by one Republican. Now, that's not a sentiment that has a lot of traffic inside the Republican Party. A majority of Democrats in the House who voted in favor of defunding all military aid to Israel, 103 of them, because immorality on both the foreign and domestic front had become a litmus test for radical Democrats. And the normie Democrats, the people who are supposed to be moderate, are just accepting this. They're swallowing it whole because they too are trying to look for love in all the wrong places. Andy Bashir will be the first person eaten by the DSA. Here he was with Katie Couric saying that the Democratic Socialists of America, these communists, the big problem with that, there's really nothing wrong with them. They're just too passionate. They're just too passionate.
Many who are running under the Democratic Socialist brand or the Progressive brand are making their case with just extreme passion. They are convincing voters that they will work as hard as they can, and that's what voters are asking for right now.
They just want the extreme passion of the communists. John Fetterman, again, the last sane Democrat, he said yesterday, why exactly are you embracing the commies? Like, what is your thing here?
For me, what you're afraid of is defined by what you won't criticize or won't call out. And I'm always going to call out people that they're not Democrats. In fact, some of them aren't even socialists. They've actually self-identified as communists. I'm not sure why there's more outrage within the party, and they will refuse to acknowledge or say, well, I haven't been paying attention to that race so much for all those.
Again, he is right about this. The fact that Democrats continue to make room for the psychos, they will be embracing every psychotic position they possibly can by the end of this election cycle, and certainly going into 2028. If you're perceived as too moderate, you got nothing. You got nothing. You're going to get outflanked, and outflanked dramatically. And they just keep going crazier and crazier. Again, many of the faces in their beloved media ecosystem seem more insane every day. So Jennifer Welch, again, I will never understand how a person like Jennifer Welch has an audience. Mainly because she's awful on camera. Truly awful on camera. I speak as someone who's not particularly amazing on camera. Jennifer Welch makes me look like Laurence Olivier. My goodness. Jennifer Welch was on her show ripping into homeschooling. Like this is where the Democratic Party is going, attacking the homeschoolers.
They're incapable of critically thinking. They're incapable of deduction skills. And what pisses me off about this the most is how many parents project a script onto their kids. I'm a dumbass, so therefore.
Okay, I'm going to stop this and I'm going to back up just a little smidgen. This right here, I'm telling you right now, please take note. This is what they think of you as a homeschool parent, as a parent of values. And maybe you still send your child to public school, you send your child to private school or something else of that nature. Or maybe your kids are already gone and moved on. This is what they think of the right. This is what they think of. And again, I'm not going to say anything about this woman. I could talk for 2 days straight about what I think about Jennifer Welch and Angie Sullivan. Wait till Angie Sullivan comes up though. I'm telling y'all, you've not heard lunacy yet. But you know what? This is what they think, though. And I just want that to remain in your craw. Like, this is what they think of you. They don't think of you as just, somebody who wants to pursue different education, somebody who has values that they want to make sure the child pass on. No, they think nasty, vile, wicked. She is going to assume. Wait till you hear what Angie says. I was taken aback. Like, wait up. Are you for real? Wait till you hear what she says about you.
Thinking. They're incapable of deduction skills. And what pisses me off about this the most is how many parents project a script onto their kids. I'm a dumbass, so therefore I'm going to make sure you're a dumbass. I'm an idiot. I made D's, as our caller said, Ellie. She, the dumbest people she knew in college were homeschooling their kids. And so this is trickle down stupidity. This is MAGA on steroids. This is MAHA. This is tradwife. This is unvaxxed and unjacked and all that.
Wow.
These people, these folks, first of all, homeschoolers generally outperform public school students. Second of all, this bizarre hatred for parents schooling their own children and extraordinary faith in the public school system, which is failing all over the country in a wide variety of areas, is pretty astonishing. But don't worry, the hatred doesn't stop there. Welch has a co-host. That co-host's name is Angie Sullivan, who says she does not trust parents who want to be with their children.
You would not believe how many people in Bible study homeschool their kids. And you just think, I worry about that. And then you see those witness booklets or whatever they're called that the Duggars use, and they're like top out at 8th grade. I mean, I just think homeschooling is a bad idea from soup to nuts. I don't care if you're a nuclear physicist. I think it's just weird as fuck that you want your kids around you all day, every day, and all night. And just the socialization. For me personally, it was that I would have gotten up on my hands and knees and strapped them to my back and crawled to get them to school every day. I'm just going
to say something. I feel very comfortable in saying, Angie Sullivan, your children would have strapped you onto their backs and crawled over glass to get away from you. I don't think that, I think the feeling was probably mutual. The hatred for your children was probably reflected in their hatred for you, ma'am. I'm sorry. I'll never hear my kids talk about they would crawl. You'll never hear me say, I'll crawl over glass to get away from my kids. My kids made me watch some movie that came out last night, and it was ridiculous. They made me watch every one of the 4 previous, and now the 5th one came out, and it's ridiculous. And they know it's ridiculous. And they know their dad does not care. But guess what? I would crawl over glass to watch that movie with my children. The fact that this woman despises her own children, the flesh of the product of her and her husband's love, that she hates them so much that she would crawl over glass, strapped with kids on her back to take them to school? But not to make sure they have good morals, make sure they have good ethics, make sure they're going to make good husbands or good wives or make good spouses in the future. Nope. I will crawl over broken glass to get my kid to school because and she's going to say in a second, I don't want them to be where I am. That's crazy work, man. I can't imagine being proud of what this woman is saying. I just can't understand it. Again, and I'm not even arguing that you have to homeschool your kids, but just the fact that you don't like your children that much, I'm sorry, man. I mean, there are people who cannot have kids. There are people who don't have good marriages. There are people who have all of these reasons that they would crawl over glass to have kids. And this sorry looking woman, this doggone dried up dish towel, has the audacity to say she would crawl over glass to send her kids to school where they would not be where she is. Okay.
It's the socialization. For me personally, it was that I would have gotten up on my hands and knees and strapped them to my back and crawled to get them to school every day, just to get them where I wasn't. So I don't trust somebody that wants to be with their kids 24/7. I think a lot of dumb people do it because it's just easier, and that's a concern.
Homeschooling is absolutely 100% not easier at all. Okay, this lady is crazy. This is a crazy thing to say. First of all, you don't trust parents who want to be with their kids? What is wrong with you? Seriously, what is wrong with you? Do adults need a break from their kids sometimes? Sure.
Absolutely.
Do good parents want to be with their kids a lot? Absolutely. Folks, there's nothing more important on this planet than defending children, and that includes children who are unborn. The fact is there's so many Americans who don't even know that children who are unborn actually have value. Why? Well, because they never see the child. I understand that conceptually you can understand all of this, but seeing a child in the womb, kicking, sucking its thumb, interacting, actively growing, that is a thing that changes lives. This is why you need to sponsor an ultrasound through Preborn. It just costs $28 to donate. Dial #250 say baby or visit preborn.com/Shapiro. And I'm confused. You don't trust somebody who wants to be with their kids. You just trust somebody who wants to be with other people's kids. That's your pitch. My goodness. And the Democrats will embrace all this sort of stuff. They do. So when I say that I want the Democrats to lose, it's because I want them to lose. But I don't just want them to lose in name. I want them to lose in policy. I don't want any of the policies that the Democrats are pushing. I don't want a weak foreign policy. And I don't want a hatred of free market economics that is being propped up by a bunch of lies about how income inequality damn all of us to the loss of the American dream and all this slop. I'm not interested in a bunch of conspiracy theorizing about how the American dream is dead and you can't get ahead, and therefore all the meritocracy itself must be ground under. I don't want that. I don't want it from Democrats. I don't want it from Republicans. And listen, it may be because the world's imperfect, that we have a bunch of imperfect choices in the future in presidential. Sure. I mean, people very rarely get what they want in politics. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't call it out when we see it, because it is both bad strategy and bad principle. What an amazing video you just watched. Wasn't that
Shout
amazing?
Out to Ben.
Well,
Absolutely
if you think so,
Ben.
head on over to
Shout out to Ben Shapiro.
dailywire.com/subscribe.
And the link to this video is down in the description. But I just thought that was so telling that this, one, their disdain for the right. Their disdain for people who hold different ideological viewpoints than them. I don't know how we're going to be able to build coalition, because these people despise you. They despise us. But then just the hatred, the vitriol for people who choose to homeschool. And then, did y'all get it? Did you hear how she has questions about parents that want to be around their kids all the time? That's wild work, man. I've never heard anybody say something that bona fidely ridiculous before. I mean, they despise family. Whoa, sorry about that. They despise family. They're absolute haters. They're 1,000% haters. And I just thought that was wild work. I'm like, man, what in the world? What are we dealing with, man? American dream is not dead at all. Not even a little bit. But we know what, also is not. It's CJ blessing 5 people with memberships. Thank you so much, CJ. That's very kind of you. If you got a membership, please make sure you say thank you and put CJ's name on it. Tell CJ we appreciate him. Thank you so much for blessing 5 people with memberships, friend. Thank you so much for that. All right. We are going to now, we're going to do a palate cleanse. This one's a little bit different because this young lady took to task Candace Owens. And she did a really good job. Shout out to this young lady. Make sure I got her title of her channel, The Truth with Lauren Francis, link down in the description. She really took apart Candace Owens. And I thought this was great because she's a young lady. She looks extremely intelligent, very talented content creator. I've checked out several of her videos. I thought she did an outstanding job. And I just want to put this out there again. I'm gonna probably not even interrupt much and just give you a chance to hear what she had to say. She's going to biblically break down what is the issue with Candace Owens. I thought she did a great job, and I wanted to give y'all a chance to hear, again, a new content creator to the channel, so we're going to bring her on. Lauren, come on up here to the front of the church. Let's go.
The COVID vaccine. Okay, no one can debate this. I'm right. It's a fact. And you're thinking, is this vaccine going to kill us all? Because it's safe and effective, is now suddenly she's a grieving widow.
Instead of nagging my husband, I embrace his hard work.
Like I said, it's a repeat tactic to garner an emotional response, to say, look, she's a damsel in distress. No one should, you just need to feel bad for her. Like I said, she's just a piece of technology. She's not even something to hate or resent.
Why does it seem like the closer you get to God, the harder the devil works on you?
Yeah. Look.
That demonic Erica. You people don't have shit on Candace.
These few Bible verses in 2 Timothy so perfectly capture what's going on with the Candace situation and her followers that it almost feels like it was a prophecy written about her. You have to see this. So this is 2 Timothy 3 verses 1 through 9. I'm using the ESV. You can use any version and it says exactly the same thing, but it says, but understand this, that in the last days there will come times of difficulty, for people will be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unappeasable, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not loving good, treacherous, reckless, swollen with conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having the appearance of godliness but denying its power. Avoid such people, for among them are those who creep into households and capture weak women, burdened with sins and led astray by various passions, always learning and never able to arrive at a knowledge of the truth. Nothing better describes Candace Owens than this. She is a lover of self. She is abusive. She is slanderous. She has zero self-control. She's all about conceit. Everything that she does is about her. Everything in relation to the murder of Charlie Kirk is about her. Everything about his life centers around her. And it's so funny because this is the exact caricature that she projects onto Erica Kirk. And who falls for stuff like this? Well, it tells us right here, silly women in their homes with nothing to do but just pursue their endless debased passions. People who are obsessed with crime mystery novels, maybe, or romance novels, and fancy themselves the main character in these novels where they're the one who knows what's really going on because, well, I read this fictional book about something that's similar to what Candace Owens is saying. The Bible calls them silly women. That's exactly what they are. When it says that these women are burdened with sins led astray by various passions, it warns us the logical end of this, and that is that they are always learning and never able to arrive at a knowledge of the truth. I just love how beautifully this is put, which what else would you expect coming from the Word of God? But, you know, they all have this idea, you know, we're just asking questions. We're just trying to get to the truth. We just care about our friend, Charlie Kirk, who died. We want to get answers for Charlie Kirk. They believe that if they have more facts, that therefore they are learning. But the Bible says that it's not the amount of facts that you have, it's actually the goal of arriving at knowledge and wisdom. And so what these people fail to understand, and I think it's partly because of the problem of the fact that in elementary school, we're taught there are no stupid questions, you know, trying to get and encourage kids to ask questions. But as an adult, you realize there are a lot of stupid questions, especially one that has already been answered by the teacher 1,000 times. And so it's saying here, you know, yeah, you're always learning. You're learning a lot, but you're never quite arriving at knowledge, which is supposed to be the entire pursuit of learning in the first place. And for those of us who are completely exhausted by having to interact with these people on a daily basis, there's some hope at the end of this, which I really love. It says, but they will not get very far, for their folly will be plain to us all, as was that of those two men. And this is in reference to the people opposing Moses and try to slander him and do all of the things that Candace Owens is doing to Erica Kirk and Turning Point. And I want to bring up this point because my husband brought it up to me last night. And I just thought it was one of the most profound things I've ever heard about this whole situation. But he just is looking at this whole thing and we're just both wondering, like, why is this happening? You know, it's like we all had this idea that, like, after Charlie Kirk's death, we saw all these people reading the Bible. We saw all these people going to church again. Now, all of a sudden, everything is being attacked and everybody is divided. Erica is being attacked. Charlie's legacy is being attacked. And when you zoom out, it really emphasizes who Charlie Kirk actually was in relation to his purpose here on earth. As a husband, he's a protector of the home. As a Christian, he is an evangelist, and he was so obedient to God that I believe that God worked through him in ways that we are now seeing the effect of, by the fact that everything that he loved and everything that he accomplished in his life here is being attacked. Like, if you want a conspiracy, this is absolutely a demonic conspiracy.
No question.
As soon as Charlie, upholding all of these things, the Turning Point USA, his beautiful family, as soon as Charlie, who was an absolute force on this earth, as soon as he is removed from the equation, the enemy attacks. And it attacks everything around him. His beautiful family, his organization that was extremely effective. Now, these people who are doing the attacking think that they are doing something good. They think that they are trying to get answers for what actually happened to Charlie Kirk because they love Charlie Kirk so much. This is exactly what deception looks like. It feels like you are on the right side of history, but in reality, you are being misled and you are constantly justifying everything that happens as you being the good guy. And you know why, while I think like a lot of people on the right are maybe over hyperbolic and using the term, you know, demonic.
Hyperbolic.
Maybe early on it wasn't quite appropriate to use that about Candace Owens. But now, if there's any time that would be deemed appropriate to use that term about Candace and her followers and the psychosis that's actually going on here, it would be this time. I don't think it's unreasonable at all to suggest that this is a demonic attack and people who are not obedient to God and obedient to the Holy Spirit are going to be deceived here and they're going to be led astray. And the result is going to be tearing apart the body of Christ, tearing apart good people. And they're always going to have in their mind that they're actually doing something good, that they have this occult knowledge that nobody else really understands except for Candace and the rest of her followers. But when you look at the practical results of this, it just makes so much sense. Charlie was an effective and formidable force of God. Now that he's removed from the equation, the enemy attacks everything that he built. But I am so glad to be reminded at the end of this verse that they are not going to get very far, and their folly is going to be plain to us all. It is all going to be exposed in the end. Ultimately, what I would love to see happen with Candace Owens is not an ominous, I hope she lives. I hope she lives to see the fruit of everything she's done. Because you know what? Death is easy, actually. No, I view Candace Owens as a creation of the Almighty God. She is an image bearer, and she has been gifted with incredible talent and incredible gifts. I pray that she humbles herself, she self-reflects, and she repents. And she lives out the rest of her life in devotion to God. Also, I can't forget this part about where it says, having the appearance of godliness, but denying its power. This is something that she accuses every single person of who cites scripture. And this would have some credibility if it was obvious that she herself had a virtuous mission of trying to share the gospel in the way that Charlie Kirk did. You know, in all of his debates and in everything that he would say, he always pointed back to, you know, his Savior, Jesus Christ. And he always pointed back to his mission of ultimately seeing even the craziest lunatics on the left coming to Christ and accepting Christ and living out the rest of their lives for him. With Candace Owens, you see her talking about her Catholic faith, but it's always in reference to her. Well, I'm a Catholic and I. There's this great compilation where it perfectly demonstrates this.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you. Truly an honor to be here. This is my first Catholic event, so I will never forget this. I just had that Catholic excitement. Just me. I did this. I walk a lot. I do. I walk every day. I've just walked 14 miles. My Apple Watch has died. I'm not kidding. I would say I was feeling good. I was like, but I'm doing good. I was like,
But it's about like what kind of Catholic I am, and it's all about like this image of being a person of God. You know, she's got these trinkets in the back of her podcast, and that's the extent of it. And so when she criticizes Allie Beth Stuckey and she criticizes Erica Kirk, it's true that there are people who exist that like act super godly and super sweet, and then they're actually just really fake. But just because that is a real phenomenon doesn't mean that that's actually what's going on. Just every time you see somebody who is sweet and very godly, it is her who wears the appearance of being godly like a costume. And we know this because it's not just certain individuals. It's not just certain times that scripture is read in order to bring light to a situation. It's every single time. She actually recoils at the idea of scripture being read. She recoils at the idea of like God's people doing godly things. The only time she talks about God is when it's in relation to her podcast. This is God's podcast. It has nothing to do with this is God's will and I'm trying to live this out the best that I can. This is the podcast that was special, ordained by God. She even kind of says like it actually makes her sick whenever people cite scripture. And she says it's because they're just being fake. And the reason why I say that is because she never talks about scripture itself. And she never talks about the will of God apart from what she proclaims her status is before him. If you are dedicated to getting some discernment and wading through all of the chaos with all of this Candace drama, there's never going to be a better resource than scripture itself.
Shout out for sure. Thank you so much, Lauren. I appreciate her. I'm going to only add to that. You'll never hear Candace explain the gospel. You'll never explain. Matter of fact, I've done several videos on this of Candace explaining her conversion, how she became a quote unquote Christian. It's a very telling story. So the fact that she will drag people who understand the gospel, who understand scripture, who are trying to learn and encourage others to learn from scripture, the way she drags people, it's telling. It's telling. It's not, I don't think it's a one-off experience. I don't think it's just a hiccup or a whoopsie. I think it's really truly built on the fact that she doesn't know. She doesn't know because she's not a convert. I must stay on that one. I must stay there. Her name is Lauren. The link is not in the description, Jen, but now I got it right here. I literally have it right here. So let me just grab it real quick. But it's in the description. All the videos today are in the description, I think, except Ami's. I don't think Ami's is in there. I might have made a mistake there. But there it is right there. Thank you so much. Oh, wait, do we got two different ones? I might have a different one. Hold on. Let me make sure I didn't mess it up. Thank you, Tina. So they're down in the description. Her name is Lauren. The Truth with Lauren is the name of her channel. Lauren Francis. Please forgive me. The Truth with Lauren Francis is the name of her channel. All right, Les, I got a good one for you. I think you'll enjoy this one. And then we'll go jump over here and see what Dr. Peters, in honor of Jordan Peterson getting back on Twitter today. I thought that was excellent that he was back. Glad to see him back for sure. Let me pull this in. All right, this young lady actually used to follow Candace. And I think she had a wonderful story. You may have seen this on X. It was kind of floating around earlier this week, and I just want to bring it in because it's actually kind of long. I saw the clips of like, minute clip and so on and so forth. But this one I thought was really cool because this was much longer. So let me bring the full story in.
So as someone who used to love Candace Owens, I loved her. I was in her book club. I listened to her podcast all the time. And I remember one time in the car, and during this time, it was a really dark place in my life. I'm going to just be honest. And I looked forward to listening to her. And I remember one time I was in the car with my husband. I had turned her on and my husband was like, "Oh, I can't stand her voice." And I was like appalled that he would say that. And then the Lord drew me in last April and just really the Holy Spirit started working on my heart. And in June of last year, I just felt like I couldn't listen to her. Like her voice was irritating me, and I thought about what my husband had said, and I was like, oh, I get it. She's like super irritating me. After I really started following the Lord, and it wasn't like at that time in the summer that I felt like, oh my gosh, I don't want to, like it's the Holy Spirit telling me. I just didn't want to hear her anymore. Like it irritated me. So I stopped listening to her, and then I didn't cancel her book club. I still had it, but I just didn't really take her in as much anymore. And then I was praying in the garden, about to turn on her podcast, and I was like, I started listening to her when Charlie passed away, and I was like praying, and it was like, no. And then after that, I made a video, and I said, hey, I just wanted y'all to know. And then people were like, keep your personal convictions to yourself. And I got a lot of flack last year from a lot of people for standing up and saying, no, I don't think that her fruits, the Holy Spirit told me no, not to listen to her. I knew. And so I turned her off. And then right after that, seen a clip of her justifying listening to, well, I just won't get it. I just started seeing, okay, yeah, that was right on. And now all the way to this year, and I still see exactly why the Lord pulled me away from her. Just because someone says Christ is king, no, it's Jesus is king. I don't hear her talking about the Bible, and then people are like, well, she's a journalist, so she doesn't have to. No, if you love the Lord in all things, everything you do, you want God to be glorified. So those of you who think that she's a Catholic, and it says to judge righteously, and it also says to know people by their fruit. It says you will know people by their fruit. So you are supposed to test the spirits and have discernment on who you're taking in and who you're trusting. And now we see lie after lie, and I am so thankful that the Lord opened my eyes on her, because I just thought about this today. If I had consumed her content this whole time and listened to her, and my pride would not allow me to pull away from her at this point, because I would want her to be right so bad enough that I wouldn't even, I would lose the cause of really getting the person who took Charlie's life away. There would be no justice in that, because I would want to believe that Candace was right. And so I was reading James today, and it says, who is wise and understanding among you? Let him by good conduct that his works are done in meekness of wisdom. But if you have bitter envy and self-seeking in your heart, do not boast and lie against the truth. This wisdom does not descend from above, but is earthly, sensual, and demonic. For where envy and self-seeking exist, confusion and every evil thing are there. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceful, gentle, willing to yield, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. Now the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. Blessed are the peacemakers. Since Erica Kirk asked her to stop, because she said she would stop if she asked her or her husband asked her. So Erica did ask her to stop. But some people think that it's not money as her motive, or that it's money that's her motive. I think it goes past that. Pride comes before a fall. There is a lot of self-seeking in a lot of the messaging behind which. Look at Candace. I was friends with Charlie and I, and she purposely calls Erica by her maiden name. And that is so disrespectful. And you can say that you don't have great feelings about Erica, but what does God's fruit say? What are the fruits of the Spirit? Who has those fruits of the Spirit? Who have you allowed? Like, it just reminds me of when Adam and Eve were in the garden and Eve was there. The serpent put doubt, confusion. What is the message of Candace? Every week it's a different way of how she's defending her stance on Tyler Robinson's innocent. And every week it's confusion. Confusion does not come from the Lord. So if you are a Christian and you are consuming, and you have been consuming Candace Owens' content, it is that deep. There are spirits behind everything. Either it's the Holy Spirit or it's not. And what spirit have you been? We do not, just like how it says the spirit of fear. Guys, you don't get, there are perversions, pride, and some people get really mad when Christians speak out like this. Why is it irritating your soul when someone tries to tell you not to take her in? Oh, well, I'm just listening because I like conspiracy theories. I like a challenge. I like finding out, do I trust the government? No, my trust is in the Lord. Am I saying that Erica Kirk is, this, that, and the third? No. And you know what? You guys are trying to separate Erica from Charlie, but they were one flesh. They were one flesh, and they honored God. So you guys might want to think about that, because you will have to stand in front of the Lord and give an account for every idle word that you say. And that's why I try to be very careful now that the Lord is Lord over my life and I speak. I try to be just like, if you know your word, there is a part in Acts where it talks about Ananias and Sapphira, and I just read that as well. And they lied against God, the Holy Spirit. And the Lord took their life. And so I try really hard to have integrity in everything that I say and do, and the messaging that I put out. That's why I'm not as active on here as well, because I don't ever want to put something out that is not of the Lord. So the good way to check your own fruits, because we can't control what anybody else does, but we can control what we do and what we put out. What is irritating you today? Who are you taking in? It is always that deep. You guys like to brush things under the rug because you're like, it's not that. It's always that deep. And the music, who you take in, what you're listening, goes through your eyes, into your heart, and what you speak out. Put away. I'm working on my mouth right now and not having a filthy mouth, because as soon as I get mad, that's what I want to do, because it's a habit. What's the fruit behind that? So I try to check myself too. We have such a short time on this earth. Make sure that whatever's consuming your time is worthy of your time and the Lord's time.
Shout out for sure. I just thought this young lady's story was super informative. And again, I'd seen like clips of it throughout the week, and I found the full version. I thought it was definitely something to jump in and allow you all to check out. I don't think I put this video link down in the description, but I'll put it in there. I found it on TikTok. So if you just put in whatever it was right here, if you put that in, if you were looking for it on TikTok, or if you shoot me an email, you know what? I'll put it on a clip on the video so you can find it as well. So you can leave a place in there for you to find it. There we go. That's what we'll do. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all, everybody who's jumped in with us. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us for Friday Night Lights. I thought that was super encouraging. Okay, I'm around these bases. We got the last Candace video related to Candace. But I think you'll enjoy this one. And then we're going to, I got a fun one at the end. So you all really like Lyle Culpepper. I don't know what y'all's story is with Lyle. I'm starting to feel like y'all cheating on me for Lyle Culpepper. Matter of fact, we need Lyle on the show. That's what we need to happen. We need Lyle Culpepper on the show. He's hilarious, man. He's a great skit artist and comedian. Well, he did a skit attempting to hire people for a real job. He was claiming that he was working for Candace Owens and attempting to hire them. It was the silliest skit. It was very funny. So let me bring it in. Shout out to them.
Working for someone who's anti-Semitic, is that something you might be comfortable with?
Yes.
Oh yeah. What about the anti-Semitism stuff?
Yeah, that's not a problem.
So we gotta figure out how we can blame more stuff on this.
Yes.
I'm Lyle. Nice to meet you. I am a recruiter and headhunter for different political figures, and we are looking for an executive assistant for Candace Owens. Are you familiar with Candace Owens?
I have heard of Candace Owens.
Of course. There are a couple things that are going to come along with the job. She's gotten very into anti-Semitic blood libels recently.
They have this weird rule that you can go if you're Jewish and hide as a pedophile.
Blames a lot of stuff on the Jews.
Jewish people were in control of the slave trade.
Normal.
Can't blame her. What's that?
I can't blame her.
She said that Jews eat babies and
They actually did.
Christians were going missing on Passover across Europe. They were able to trace them back to Jews.
Everybody does.
Everybody blames everything on the Jews now. Have you ever worked for someone who's anti-Semitic before?
No, I haven't. I volunteered for a few politicians, but I'm sure they were. Wrong and right is subjective.
Candace has gotten very into conspiracy theories, solving mysteries.
Wrong and right is
She's very close
subjective.
with
It's
Charlie
crazy.
Kirk, remember?
Oh, yes, of course.
So she's been investigating who killed Charlie Kirk. Probably the Jews, right?
Maybe, yes.
I've hidden 4 clues around this room, and you need to find the clues
This
to
is
solve
so
the
funny.
murder, figure out who killed Charlie Kirk.
Sounds good.
And this is the first clue. Read the clue out loud.
Candace says the whole story is fake. Tyler Robinson did not murder Charlie Kirk.
Total garbage. So find where the trash actually lives. Could be in the garbage.
But be vigilant.
Oh.
Clue number 2.
Nice. Now she's connecting red strings straight to Israel with zero evidence.
Israel incentivized to kill Charlie and to get him out of the way. It's a sense that we all have.
Find the board where you draw the crazy out.
Wow, that was really quick.
What's going on? Clue 3.
You're a regular Dora the Explorer.
She swears the people Charlie trusted buried the truth. A lot of individuals that were around Charlie, people who I couldn't believe would betray Charlie.
So get low, check what is under your seat. Last one. Candace felt his death spiritually and saw him in a dream. Walk toward the light and look through the glass.
He consciously knew what he was doing. He knew he was going to die.
This is interesting.
Get it
I like
notarized.
this. Walk towards the light.
All right.
Let me read it. Oh my
Who
gosh.
killed Charlie Kirk? It was
Erica Kirk and Mossad.
I have Candace Owens claiming I murdered my husband.
Erica Kirk and the Mossad. At least according to Candace.
Charlie is dead, and BB is saying, I didn't kill him. And we thought, did you kill him? There clearly is a connection.
Would you have any issue working for someone who's anti-Semitic? Is that something you might be comfortable with?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
What about the anti-Semitism stuff? Is that
yeah, that's not a problem.
So we gotta figure out how we can blame more stuff on this.
Yes. Hell yeah. Thank you. This was really fun.
All right.
Pleasure. Wait, so is there like a part 2 to this?
No, that's it, yeah.
What?
That's it. That's the whole thing. You solved the mystery.
Okay.
All right. Tough to tell what's real and what's satire.
It's hard to tell what's real and what's satire. Shout out to Lyle. And somebody said this right here. I think I agree with this statement. Whoever said it, Lyle and Edie, wherever I saw it. I think we need that to happen. And there we go, Lyle and Edie. I agree. I am there for that. I will absolutely watch that. I think that'd be hilarious. Absolutely. Yeah, but yeah, shout out to Lyle for sure. Make sure you go check him out. He's there he's on the gram, he's on the X, he's on the YouTube, he's all over doing the social media stuff. So make sure you go check him out for sure. Okay, we are totally switching gears. Gears are switched. We are on a whole nother trajectory. But yeah, I got one more. I got one more Lyle for y'all because y'all do like Lyle quite a bit. And he is funny, I ain't gonna lie. So how many of you all watched that debate? Was it in Maine last night? Did y'all watch that debate? Well, of course, everybody's dunking on the particular candidate that I don't know what anyway. The candidate is clearly of the LGBT community and was explaining why they should win because of their accomplishments. Ashley Webb. Yes, y'all saw Ashley Webb. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know. I don't actually know what to say about this. This was, well, let me pull it in because I got some commentary about just the candidates themselves don't look serious. Okay, well, we got Lyle here, and we know how serious Lyle is. First of all, can we give him props for his editing? Because he does look like he's in this room. I don't know what they're doing. But the woman right next to him, man, why does she look like that? Why? The only person that looks serious like a politician to any degree, shape, or form is the guy in the suit on the far left. Everybody else looks just like they're on their way to a swap meet or on their way, they just left from the farmer's market or something. She might be going to a PTA meeting or something. Like, why? Come on. Like, where's the seriousness of this? Like, where's the intensity? Where's the seriousness? Oh, and we know that. And we know that. An Edie and Ami collab. I like that too. If he hits me back, I'm going to try to put it, I'm going to see if I can make that work. I like that one as well. All right, so let me just let him tease us out. Lyle is ridiculous, but we're going to let him tease this one out. I'm going to get out of the way. Here we go.
Ashley Webb, what qualifications do you have to serve in the U.S. Senate?
Oh, I ran for office several times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then,
oh my gosh,
I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books. And then, I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people, and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now. Like we get lied to, smoke and mirrors.
Assemblyman Culpester, do you have a response?
I just want to say that I can't, in good conscience, stay in this race, knowing that there is someone that is so much more qualified to be in the U.S. Senate than I am. And her name is Ashley Webb. And she's an incredible, beautiful woman who is so talented and so articulate. And what we have realized, having worked on Graham Plattner's campaign, is that people don't want candidates that were grown in vats. And despite the fact that she looks like she may have just eaten an entire vat of toxic gender fluid, Ashley was not grown in a vat. There are not vats large enough for that. Would you honestly rather someone with political experience or someone with songwriting experience? Come on, guys, she's like the trans Taylor Swift. People of Maine need to do the right thing and get out and vote and elect Ashley Webb for Senate. I yield the rest of my time.
I really wanted him to play the whole thing. Hold on. Okay. I did not plan it, but you got to hear the whole thing though. The whole Ashley Webb explaining why he should be elected is crazy, diabolical work. Hold on. Okay, I need the whole, it's like 3 minutes. I want that whole 3 minutes. I just let them talk. Like that thing was a mess. Oh, maybe it wasn't that long. There's a lot of comedy here. All right, hold on. Let me pull this one in. Oh. Okay, so it looks like it's like 44 seconds. I guess maybe I thought it was longer than that. Maybe it was just so painful it was that long. Maybe that's what it was. Y'all, these people in these clips are out of control. Oh, it is 2 minutes. Here it is. Yes, here it is. I got the 2 minute clip. There we go. All right, then I promise we'll get back. We will get back to off-taskiness in a second. All right, got it. Cued it in. Let's bring it in. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear. Okay, so that's clearly, even this guy next to him, why does he not have a tie on? And this woman, I promise you, she looks like she just got done gardening. Why does she look like that? Like they do not look serious. Anyway, here it comes.
Ashley Webb, what qualifications do you have to serve in the U.S. Senate?
Oh, I ran for office several times. Didn't win, but I did run. And then I'm a songwriter, and then I write my own books. And then I suppose my transparency, I wouldn't lie to the people, and I wouldn't deceive the people like we're being deceived right now. Like,
oh, we're being deceived.
We get lied to. Smoke and mirrors, like what's going on with ICE, pretending like these victims did something wrong.
Right.
Like, that's unacceptable.
The word lie and pretend are diabolical right here. How are you saying that we've been lied to and we're pretending, sir? What's going on here? Please continue.
And I suppose the biggest thing is, like, I'm just an angry citizen now, and if I got elected, I'd be an angry senator, and I think that would probably be their worst nightmare.
Okay, let me stop this so I can read this. Hold on. The most toe-curling, awkward response came from Ashley Webb, who included being a songwriter as one of his leading qualifications in a stumbling response. I hate this music. Several of the other candidates seeking to replace disgraced former nominee Graham, sorry about that, what was that? Graham Plattner also noted they had never held public office. Instead of touting their own parenthood education and experience, those things move fast. My gosh. What does it say there? Experiences starting business as part of their qualifications. She was recently on vacation as an excuse.
I think Collins did vote for a war powers resolution to limit what Trump could do in Venezuela in January, right?
So forgive me. A week ago, I was on vacation on a river on the Kennebec, and I've been running for governor. I didn't think I was running for U.S. Senate a week later. And what I do know is that when I need to know the facts, I will.
All right, a dozen Democrats are aiming to get on the ballot. Who with Plattner, who drew from his nomination earlier this month after mounting controversy surrounding him, were capped off by troubling allegations. Yikes. A new nominee will be crowned by a Maine Democratic Party convention on July 25th. So that's next Saturday. Yeah, next Saturday. And will face off in the midterm elections against long-term GOP Senator Susan Collins. Sometimes their music is copywritten, so that's why I'm muting it. A high-stakes race is among roughly a dozen that will determine if Republicans hold their slim Senate majority. All right, shout out. Okay, I thought that was wild. So thank y'all so much for that. I appreciate it. Let us see who we got up in here. We're going to do body cam bingo tomorrow. I will do body cam bingo tomorrow. So we are ready. I have it queued up. I will get the new bingo boards out, and I'll post that probably tonight or first thing in the morning, one way or another. So we'll do that for Saturday Night Live. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you. I know somebody asked about where we're doing body cam bingo, and that is that. Okay, we're going to end this thing with a fun video. I guess fun is a kind of a loose word. A different video. If you've ever gone to Marketplace or one of these online sale places, OfferUp and all that kind of stuff like that, you've seen sometimes where people sell a whole bunch of items that you would see like cleaning supplies, like all of this Tide or all of this Bounce or all of this Drift or all this kind of stuff like that. And you're like, I wonder where they get all this from. Are they mad couponers? I had a friend that was really big into couponing, and he would go get tons and tons of stuff. He had the stockpile in his basement full of stuff that he had gotten through couponing. He was really big on couponing. Well, there's another way that people do it, and they do the coupon, which is called the 5-finger discount. So this video that we're about to look at right here is crazy work. So people are actually, hear me out here. People are actually going online and posting and asking people, what do they want to buy? And they'll say, I want to buy Gain. I want to buy laundry detergent. I want to buy these clothes or whatever like that. Then they film themselves going to the store and stealing the items and selling them. You can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff. Oh, y'all got family members that do that? The extreme couponing? I mean, it's kind of cool. It's just I don't have the wherewithal to do it. Coupons used to be so much better. Oh, no question about that. This one right here, I promise you, you have never seen this before. This is hands full discount. This is some crazy work. I've never seen this before. So y'all are going to have to never see it with me too. So bring this in, Jason. Let's bring it in. Let's go. All right. Shout out to, I apologize. Shout out to Lindsay Glenn. And she calls herself a personal shopper. That's not what's happening is the name of the video. Link is down in the description. As always, green hearts in the chat where you can hear. You've never seen this before.
I be really trying to understand where y'all get broke from. Y'all got to understand the bitches getting shit for free while looking out for the community as well. So whatever I make off of it is a profit to my pocket. I literally got it for free.
So apparently there is a woman on TikTok that identifies herself as a personal shopper. Sounds normal enough. It's a turn of phrase that I have heard before, except according to her own videos, she isn't buying anything. She's allegedly taking shopping lists from people, going to stores, stealing the items and then selling them. And here's the part that absolutely blows my mind. She films it and posts it to TikTok for the world to see. This is not hidden camera footage. It's not a bystander catching her doing this. It's her filming her own alleged crimes. She edits the videos, she puts captions on them, and she uploads them to TikTok almost as if she's doing her own marketing and advertising. We're talking about shopping tutorials, day in the life videos, customer orders, the whole thing. Today we're gonna take a look at her TikTok. Her handle over there is Little Miss Booster. And yes, even her TikTok name is tattling on herself. You know, boosting items, i.e. shoplifting. She put all of these videos on the internet herself, so let's make all of her alleged crimes famous, shall we? This is Little Miss Booster's TikTok account. We can see in her caption, she says, welcome to Booster Talk. Just skits. So this is her basically trying to cover her ass so that she can pretend like she's just playing a role. But do we actually believe her? I don't.
Spend a day with me as a booster. I mean, a personal shopper. So yeah, I'm only gonna take y'all to one store with me. This the first store. I got all of this kind of stuff. I didn't really want to record in the store, so I'm gonna just show y'all a better view of it. Hold on, it's finna come. So this is a better view. I got EOS's, Dubs, and Tapas. I try to at least make $100 in the store. Now let's sell it. Okay, so now they're going through what they want to get. I like to be quick when I go to my spots, get y'all stuff and go. That's all that I made off of one store. So I think I did pretty good. Like I said, I like to do $100 a store. And that's all. That's a quick look. Come with me in the store. Let me know if y'all want to see some more shit.
Spend a day with me as a booster. A personal shopper. Yeah, boo, we see you. So the very first post to her TikTok account is from May 4th. This TikTok account is not old. She might have had a TikTok under a different name, but this one is the only one where she appears to be showing the items that she's boosting and doing the whole like day in the life of a booster, come personal shop with me and watch while I make money with my little, hustling side business that involves theft. But the caption on this video says, me genuinely freaking out when someone asks to see my baby in the store. Do you know why she's allegedly freaking out when somebody asks to see her baby in the store? It's because she uses a car seat with a blanket draped over it to steal items.
That's wild work.
She makes it look like she's just carting her baby in a shopping cart through the store and she's sticking items that she's shoplifting under the blanket. So when somebody wants to see her baby, of course she's gonna freak out because there's no baby. It's all stolen merchandise. So of course we're going to watch more videos that she's posted. However, I personally also find the comments are pretty alarming. Stealing ain't right. I don't see y'all donating. This right here is basically saying she needs money, she's doing what she needs to do. You're saying stealing's not right, but I don't see you giving her money. We shouldn't have to give someone money to keep them from stealing. This comment is just stupid. This is why the checkout lady asked to see my son when he was a baby, and I straight up told her no, WTF. Who the F just asked to see people's babies, but this is why. Exactly. Because employees know that this is a way that individuals are shoplifting. You really think they give a shit about seeing your kid? I don't think so. Oh no, they're stealing from $1 billion company. OMG, no, the poor millionaire and billionaires. That's not the point. The reason why we all have a right to be upset at someone shoplifting, even though it's from $1 billion corporation, is because thefts and losses of those companies are directly passed down to the customers. This is why prices go up. These $1 billion corporations are not going to eat the losses. They're going to simply start raising prices, and all of the honest shoppers are going to have to pay for those losses. Okay, that's why we're pissed. In this economy, I don't see how people are mad. Boosting bitches, where y'all at? As long as it's a big company and it's necessary. Why are we filming the evidence?
Whoa. I'm gonna mute that just because I know.
Oh, POV, I'm your personal household booster. So she's basically saying right here, this is her loot, and she has taken orders, and she's gone and boosted or allegedly shoplifted all of these items for her personal shopping customers. This is a business for her. She's not just shoplifting stuff she's using at home. She's shoplifting stuff for other people. It is a business for her. Start using a different blanket or they'll get you. There's even people in comments giving her tips. I'm retired now. Glad to know my bestie and I weren't the only ones using the car seat. There's someone else admitting that they did this too. Girl, we the same. Seriously? Who's a booster in Omaha? I need my baby boy stuff. How much you selling things for? I want some. Do you ship? Who's in California? Are you in Houston? Come to Bama, as in Alabama. You get the good stuff. Who isn't retired? I need you in my life. Location, Louisiana, Florida. Are you near Waco, Texas by chance? Everyone in the comments is supporting this and even looking for their own boosters. This is not just her showing her own business. It's literally inspiring other thieving entrepreneurs. This is disgusting. Again, this is her showing right here. She uses the baby carrier to steal. When I'm in a store and I hear, "Excuse me, ma'am, what's in the bag?" But that's not my name. So I just keep walking. Look at all of this stuff. Look at this stuff. She's stealing dry deodorant sprays, expensive mouthwashes, Colgate toothpaste, EOS hand soap. Looks like there's some spritzers back there. She's got Dove body wash. I can see some Olay bath wash back there. Look at all of this. Deodorant's like... It's obviously things that people use that are very expensive in the store. That doesn't make it right. Ex-retail employee, not getting stopped doesn't mean that you got away with it. Stores have cameras, reports, trespass bans, and records. Don't confuse lack of confrontation with not being arrested. In Virginia, the maximum time is 12 months in jail. I've done a video on my channel before exposing...
You know, shout out for sure. I watched the video. Maybe I'll find it real quick. And we might have did a body cam on it. There was a police officer who got arrested. She was shoplifting as a police officer. She was in uniform, in her cop car. She was shoplifting at Walmart and got caught. And her colleagues had to come and arrest her. But the thing was, she was at the same Walmart like 2 or 3 weeks before, and before then, and they brought all of that stuff forward. They found all the evidence of her shoplifting before and brought it all into this one. So instead of her, I don't know, it was like $500 worth of stuff. I'm gonna find it real quick. It is the craziest story. in uniform. Y'all gotta put the word "in uniform" in the chat. I don't think it's always Walmart, but I think Walmart is probably super aggressive and making sure they shame these people. So I think that's what ends up happening. Because Target, I know people be boosting from Target. You know, people steal from other places, but Walmart seems to really be aggressive, making sure they are going to hit you with them charges. It could be $8.45. If they can, they are going to hit you with them charges. All right, let me finish this up. I'm gonna find that video for you.
How employees know for a fact that the big retailers like Walmart and Target are just simply watching you steal and keeping track of what you steal so that they can get you for grand larceny. If you missed that video, I will link it up here in the iCards for you. I'll also tag it down in the video description so you can go give it a watch. But if you're going to a place like Walmart, they spend billions of dollars on security and anti-theft measures. Don't think you're slick. You're probably not. It's just a matter of time. And here's more people. You taking orders? Let's see what the replies are to it. I take. What area are you in? Oh, so this is another person that is apparently doing the same thing, and they're taking orders. So, yep. Let's use this as a business opportunity to grow our clientele, shall we?
Boosting bitches, where y'all at? Hey, I'm right here, bitch. Y'all know the vibes. Grab y'all back and don't get me caught. First, I had to get gas. Gas take on E, all dub on the queen. You know the vibes. Same blanket, same car seat. I see a lot of y'all asking, do I get orders? Yes, I get orders. I'm here for my girlies on a budget. This is what a $40 bundle looks like. Y'all talking shit. The queen is helping. Take from the rich to get to the poor. Thank you.
So, yep, she is officially advertising her services, saying that she's taking on new clients. And she even said, this is what a $40 bundle looks like. You pay me $40, I'll bundle up some household and personal care items for you. This is disgusting. She's literally making money shoplifting, and she's going to end up landed in jail. Back to the messages. Take from the rich and give to the poor. I support this message. She ain't giving nothing to the poor. She's selling it.
She's selling it to y'all.
Selling it. Yes, they might be getting those items for a discount, but she's not giving anybody anything. The only person that is benefiting from this is her. That's why when she gets caught, it's only going to be her going down. But the fact that these people are paying her for stolen merchandise, that is equally as disgusting. They might not get caught, they might not get charged with anything, but it's still wrong. I need a booster in Houston. Real boosters don't record. Because they don't want to get caught.
Wow. That sounds such a blight on humanity. Such a blight. Such a blight. How do you have, I mean, she stole.
Look, kids' clothes too. So she doesn't just steal household and personal care items, she's also stealing clothes and selling them.
Wow.
That's great.
I know y'all still ain't asking where them boosting bitches at when I been told you I was right here. Y'all know the vibes. Grab y'all bag and do not get me caught. Spend the day with me as a personal shopper. We still using the car seat with it, just a different blanket, because y'all kept trying to talk about my blanket. So we going to switch it up. I got homegirl with me today. This was the first store. Let's see how she did. Bag full, period. Don't play. Y'all know Big Mama car seat, stay overly loaded. It's the giving baby boy 9 pounds, 12 ounces. Thank you. Second store, okay, y'all see what homegirl did. Y'all asked, do we get EOS, baby? We clear the whole shelf. Whatever you ask, we can get it. Thank you, backseat, overly loaded. And this is everything we got.
Wow.
I be really trying to understand where y'all get broke from. Y'all got to understand the bitches getting shit for free while looking out for the community as well. So whatever I make off of it is a profit to my pocket. I literally got it for free. But anyways, I didn't even have to go nowhere to sell it today because one of my homegirls called me up like, I need the biggest bundle you could get. Baby, and we gave it to her. Y'all see her stacking her shit up. And yeah, that's just a quick way to make $500 with the queen. Let me know if y'all want to see some more content or what. And I might start shipping. I keep seeing y'all see, ask do I ship. I'm probably finna start. I don't know. I know y'all still ain't asking.
So she just said she made a quick $500. She made a quick $500. She's claiming she's clearing the shelves. How on earth are they getting away with stealing that much and not getting caught? I think they're just being watched. They're probably just being watched. Something as egregious as this, there's no way that they're that slick about it. And she brought her girlfriend with her that used a damn backpack? Seriously? Oh yeah, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Girl, I promise you that they're building a case.
Right.
I agree with that. Y'all be real comfortable posting your methods here. You're risking your freedom for lotion and detergent. No, she's not risking her freedom for lotion and detergent. She's risking her freedom for a few $100s a day. And it's gonna come back and bite her right in the ass. I swear, social media has completely broken some people's brains.
No question.
Instead of keeping illegal activity a secret, you're seriously gonna build an audience around it and a customer base? I mean, think about it. The more customers she gets, the more enticed she's gonna be to steal bigger and bigger and bigger, and she's gonna get her ass busted. According to her own videos, she's allegedly shoplifting items, creating bundles, taking money from people, and making 100% profit off of it. She said it. She said it in her own video. Just because you put "it's just skits" in the tagline doesn't protect you from being arrested, honey. I have a feeling it's coming.
And shout out to Long Hair Don't Care 35. I was literally about to stop and say that. I was literally about to say, first of all, shipping it is going to become a federal issue. But even more than that, you're going to end up paying for, you're not going to be able to steal the shipping. So you're going to have to pay whatever the cost is to ship. And eventually the price is not, the margins are going to be greatly reduced. Again, if it's $100 worth of product and it costs you $30 to ship it, I'm going to pay $130 for stuff that probably would have cost me maybe $150 in the store and I wouldn't have been caught stealing. So $20, I'm not doing that. That's crazy. Shipping costs too much. Absolutely. There's no way to, how are you going to beat the shipping charges? I think that was dumb, but I pray she gets caught. Let's finish up.
I have a feeling it's coming. And in case you didn't know, I have a body cam channel called Lindy Unfiltered. I will link it down in the video description for you so you can go give it a follow. I will be sure to cover that body cam as soon as her ass gets caught because that's gonna be a good one. If you guys like videos like this and you appreciate exposing trash on the internet, make sure to hit that thumbs up button while you're down there. Also double check and make sure that you are subscribed and ring that notification bell. That way you're notified when I post the next video. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye, Lindy. All right, so I told y'all before, because y'all thought I was making it up, there's a body cam of a police officer getting caught stealing within her uniform. In uniform, y'all. Please put the words "in uniform" in the chat. In uniform. Because I don't think, I think we've watched this before. I know I've watched it before. I thought we watched it together, but we weren't going to do body cam tonight. But because y'all keep asking the questions, and unlike the boosters, I'm actually giving y'all something that is useful and it doesn't cost anybody anything. Nobody's going to lose. All right. So this is a police officer in uniform with to her police car, man. Like the fact that you can hear how the officers are like, what are we going to, like, they know they're arresting one of their own who's stealing. And and this is a classic example of somebody that's just lying. And the story is amazing. The story that she's telling is totally amazing. Because you're like, ma'am, just come on, fess up, baby. Just fess up. You lying. You going to jail. Because, I got to play that. I definitely got to play that one. So in honor of her, we're going to play it.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
But no, Jason, we want the longer version. That's a good point. Because I couldn't see it. Here it is.
Girl, you're going to jail. Said you're going to jail tonight. That lady's going to jail. You're going to jail tonight. That lady's going to jail. Said you're going to jail tonight. That lady's going to jail. Said you're going to jail tonight.
All right, here it comes. Sergeant caught stealing from Walmart in 4K. And, to piggyback off of what Lindsay said here, you'll hear it. They're going to point out that they found other clips of her stealing. So this is not a one-off where she just forgot to pay. She got a call. She had to rush out because she's going to come up with some fantastic lies. But they're going to go back and find that she's done this several other times before. It is crazy work. It's diabolical. Let's get at it. Here it comes. Y'all know what we like to do. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
He got flustered, and it was unintentional. It was a mistake. Nothing was intentional.
Yes, I am a detective.
Okay, grabs her receipt. Why is she grabbing a bag? Something weird's going on.
On October 6th, 2025, at a Walmart in Show Low, Arizona, Loss Prevention reported that a woman in uniform was acting suspiciously, placing items inside a tote and attempting to leave without paying. When officers arrived, they immediately recognized her as Sergeant Melissa Ward of the White Mountain Apache Police Department. She insisted it was all a mistake, but the cameras told a very different story.
So, what's going on right now?
Hey, Butler.
Melissa, how you doing?
She got totes. I saw her in totes grabbing them, and since it's such a big issue with them, I started following her. Every single item she got, she opened the tote, put it in, and closed it every single time. And then when she got to the front end, the only thing she purchased was the tote. And then she tried, before she even bought the tote, she went to the GM exit, was stopped there by the doorhouse, went back, went to customer service, then went back, purchased the tote, and then went through grocery. So it's kind of where we're at right now.
Can you send me that video?
In uniform.
Just gonna chat with you and stuff. Were you just getting off work and stuff? Okay.
I'm getting stuff for PD for the. I lost my keys.
Oh.
So I was gonna ask the lady at the front if she just.
You lost her keys.
While I go out to the parking lot to get my keys.
Keys and stuff. Okay.
So I'm flustered because I got a phone call too.
Okay. Yeah, he'll chat with you about it.
Man, you got a phone call to arrest yourself.
No, I took it off.
Professional courtesy. I'm not putting you in handcuffs.
Can you wait? Because she's gonna keep telling the story. You know she lying. Did she get a call like there's a theft going on at Walmart and realize that she's the one that's doing the thieving? Lord have mercy, girl. Girl, I got to give it to you again. I got to let you know.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
This is some crazy work. I just heard her say, I got a call too. So were you going to go arrest somebody? Brenda, you need to arrest her. Yeah, she said something. She's telling this story that she lost her keys. And so that's why she was trying to hurry up and get out. That's part. Again, the story doesn't make any sense at all. You know she lying. Like, just stop lying. You just have to admit. She going to tell the story about candy for kids and stuff. It's crazy work. But then that's when the loss prevention goes back and starts researching. And they're going to find like 2 or 3 other instances where she did this. And it's a wrap. Okay, let's go.
We're going to take you to a car, put you in the back. I'm going to take your bag and just make sure you have nothing on you, okay? Fair enough?
And then we'll chat down to the PD and stuff, okay? We're going to walk around here real quick.
I think she should be handcuffed.
She's got her patrol car here.
Oh.
Patrol car is crazy work.
And then I'm read your rights and interview, okay? I heard her telling you.
Yes, she was. So that's why I was like,
no, man. If I did it, they would put me in cuffs. I want her in cuffs. Take her bag, the whole 9. They wouldn't let me keep my bag. They would take my bag. They would put my hands behind my back. Look, I'm back to blue too, but you're going to have to back them. She's going to put them hands back behind her back and get them blue handcuffs put on her. I'm sorry. That's crazy work. Okay. She was flustered. How many times have you walked out of Kroger, out of Target, out of Cubs Foods or Publix? You just left with a whole cart full of stuff that you would put in the tote because you was flustered. In the chat, just tell me how many times that happens. I know it happens all the time because it happens all the time to somebody. What happens to her? Because she's flustered, y'all. And we got to back the blue. Put your hands back behind your back. Boo. Let's go.
Double check with Miles because she was trying to claim that she was going to go intercept somebody at the front to watch her car so she can go back out to her car because she can't find her keys.
Why was she stuffing it in the bag?
Exactly. So did we find the keys? That's another thing too. We'll search the bag and see if she has her keys or not. But as we pulled in, we see her patrol car chilling.
The patrol car is diabolical.
Here. I'm gonna read your Miranda rights. You had a right to have one appoint to you prior to question. Do you understand these rights? Okay. So what happened here? And just be straight with me. I mean, we all make mistakes.
I'm looking for my keys. So what ended up happening was I went over. I'm supposed to get 2 totes. So I ended up grabbing 1 tote and I put some stuff in there and then I got a phone call. Somebody was letting me know we had a family member passed away this morning. So I was just getting ready to leave, but I thought I could go to the front and ask for my keys. There's a lady that's usually right here. She's pretty good about letting somebody like park your cart and then go. I went in and I got one of the totes because I need to get candy for the department, and then I was going to put the other stuff in that tote it's my personal stuff that I'm going to buy for today. So I couldn't fit the other tote in there because there's 2 lids. There's only 1 tote, right? I paid for the tote.
I can go. Did you see the video at all yet?
No, do you want to just confirm?
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch.
So the tote you have, how come you were putting it aside and put
It's
the
an
lid on
evil
it?
world we
Because I'm
live
going to fit
in.
another tote in there with candy, if that makes any sense. It just fits side by side.
I just want to see the video because she's telling us something, and I want to make sure that what she's trying to tell us doesn't match
I was
up.
watching her on the video.
Yeah.
She comes
when she was in the
through
front end, yeah.
That check, those self-checks that are closed, she went through there, she had her phone out.
Okay.
Then she cuts around the corner, goes over to Clint at door 2. Clint talks to her, she turns around, she goes to customer service. She waits in line in customer service for a minute or 2. She rolls up, says a couple words to generally the team lead, comes out, heads back to door 2, talks to Clint again, circles back around, and then she cuts through, up through the self-check, turns around, gets in line to self-check 5.
Okay.
She's at self-check 5, she scans the tote, just the tote. Doesn't open anything, scans the tote, just the tote. Gets
Okay, hold on real quick. Let me see. What was in the cart? What was in the tote? Sorry.
doesn't open.
All right, so there's dog food, looks like a notebook, OxyClean, some cleaning products. I don't see any candy. She said candy. Look, Fido getting her arrested because this is dog food. This is dog, I guess, bounce with the dog on it. This is a dog ball. This is dog food right here. Look, your dog's getting you arrested, Brenda. You going to jail because of your dogs. That's why, see? That's exactly what the problem is. Again!
Anything, scans the tote, just the tote, gets her receipt, heads out, goes right past the door host on 1, and she's passed everything, she's passed the scanner.
Yeah.
And that's when we stop her and
Okay.
say, hey, what did you do?
So, because she's claiming that she was trying to find someone to watch her cart because she didn't know where, but that doesn't explain why she would then try to push out the merchandise.
So you said you came here and you're buying it for the department?
Yes.
What were you buying for the department?
Candy.
For what?
It's the trunk or treats.
Your department pay for that?
Yes, they gave me $500.
And you're telling me just make sure it's clear because you had a family member die.
Yes.
You lost your keys, got flustered, and it was unintentional. It was a mistake.
Yes.
Nothing was intentional.
Yes, I am a detective.
Okay.
No, this is not
Okay.
my intent.
And so
Girl.
that's your bag, your personal bag?
Yes.
I too am a detective. And one of the things that detectives do, now this is new. A lot of people don't know this, but detectives don't steal from the Walmart and end up in the back of the car of their own police car. That's what detectives do and don't do. They don't be stealing so that they're not in the backseat of the police car. I know it's crazy. It's crazy work, man. It's crazy. But none of the stuff that she had was the stuff that she said she needed. That's some crazy work, y'all. I told y'all this is crazy. And the bad thing is her sergeant ends up coming to the site. And they still, I will give them a hat tip. She still ends up going to jail. But her sergeant ends up coming to verify who she is. Because they just can't believe it. They're literally gobsmacked that this is who, that they're about to arrest a police officer for shoplifting in uniform with their police interceptor in the parking lot. Make it make sense.
Do you have any problem if I look there, make sure there are no keys or nothing in there?
Yes,
Okay.
that's fine.
And you have no keys on you?
No.
And so that way I'm going to sort it out because obviously if it's truly a mistake, the last thing I want you to do is in our
No,
car.
me too.
Okay, so just give me a minute. Let me try to figure this out. And that's why I want to respect you and put you here so you're not in front of everybody out there.
No, I'm feeling already embarrassed.
I know.
It's not my
Okay.
intention.
Okay, just hang tight for me, okay?
Thank you.
Did she say any reason why she was like stuffing it at all?
Like she told me because she had 2 totes, and so with the 2 totes, it took all the carts, so that's why she was putting it in there and then there, because otherwise she wouldn't have enough room. So it kind of makes sense.
Okay.
No, it don't.
But she ended
No,
up
it don't.
purchasing 1 tote, though? Is that what they said? But then they, okay.
Well, Coach looked at the video.
Now, would y'all say that about me?
We can put her back
Now,
here. We can
I'm just asking the officers, if I were doing that and I told y'all this story, would y'all say, it makes sense what Jay Witt is saying. It makes sense. He was flustered. He was in a rush. He was looking for his keys. if y'all would make that now, I don't think y'all would do that for me. Y'all would probably, first of all, I know I would have had my hands behind my back. I'd have been locked up. So, y'all, this is crazy. I took an early retirement from law enforcement. A coworker got fired for stealing gas for his personal vehicles. He caught a felony too. What? You know what? Those are some areas that, like, I don't wish to be in those positions where you got like a P card or you have an expense card that you can just swipe. I just don't want to be tempted like that. I just would not want to be tempted like that because I can see that one going south real quick, real quick. So no, shout out for sure. Thank you so much, long hair. Okay, let's get this going. Y'all know that your boy would be arrested. Y'all treat that detective just like y'all would treat me. Sir, you're going to jail. You're going to jail, sir.
Okay. Just to make sure, I agree with you. Just to make sure.
Hey, real quick question. I was talking to the officer, and when you went through there, you did pay for one of the totes. How come you only paid for one and none of the stuff in there?
Well, because I was like I said, I got a phone call. I was flustered.
So you got a phone call when you're checking out, or when?
No, I got it on my way out.
So after you checked out.
Yes.
So, but yeah. So
no. Let me rephrase that. I got a phone call a little bit earlier than that on my way out the other side. I forgot that there was other items in there, and like I said, like in my mind thinking, okay, I gotta go look for my keys to get out of here.
Okay, hang tight. We're just gonna check the video, okay?
Yeah, we just want to make sure that we can clearly refute what she's trying to tell us.
She's gonna fight this.
Oh yeah,
I get it. She has to fight this because she wants to keep her certification.
So under our criteria, this is.
She's already staged the tote.
Yeah, so the tote is full of all the stuff you've seen already.
Okay, grabs a receipt. Why is she grabbing a bag?
This is confusing to me. She grabs a bag and sticks it in there, and then she never does anything with it.
My man, is she planning to go try to do returns on the merchandise with the bag? Like, what is the plan here?
Ooh.
Something weird's going on. Okay. All right, she's full of it.
Yeah, we're thinking so. The more we talk to her,
she picks out a bunch of stuff. She keeps putting one item in the tote, closes the lid. She went to a door host, went to customer service. At no point did she leave the cart or attempt to leave the merchandise. She has the tote staged in the cart. She goes up to the self-checkout, skips the soap, takes the receipt, grabs an empty Walmart bag, and then proceeds right past everything to come out the doors. And that's when they stop her. The tote was like this.
Was there any candy items?
Nope.
That don't make sense because didn't she say she came to buy candy for the PD?
She's just trying to play on her emotions with the trick or treat thing. She's lying. One tote, two lids, and then the empty bag. I'm thinking she grabbed the bag to try to probably stage it as legitimate if she got stopped. Would be my guess.
Yeah. Everything I've seen, obviously, I'm just not this working Walmart, but everything I've seen, she was super nervous.
Yeah.
And I recognize her, and I swear I've seen her on camera.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let us know
Here
if
it comes.
you see anything else.
Yeah, I'll definitely tell
Would you like her trespass on top of this too?
No, it's her first one. So
My thought, we go back to re-interview her.
Okay, it's diabolical the thought that you as a police officer could be trespassed from a location. That is crazy work. That is I'm sorry, that's some crazy work, man. I told y'all this video was absolutely bonkers. Okay, stay focused, Dave.
Just straight up lay it
Stay
out and say,
focused.
listen, the difference between you getting booked into jail today and getting cited for shoplifting is you telling the truth.
Yeah.
Because I think if she wants to continue to lie about it, we also charge her false reporting, dude. Because, I mean, what's the reason? Why lie at this point?
My issue is her doing this makes all of us look bad, so it's kind of BS.
I think if she's willing to tell the truth, we consider that option.
Yeah, because she has her card.
But I think if she wants to try to dig in her heels and stick with her BS story, then, dude, no, we're not playing that.
Call us here, call supervisor, you need to pick up cards at Walmart.
Yeah, I'm game for that.
That's my
That's
feeling.
crazy.
I think it's a good strategy. I really
No,
do. Let's do it.
I want you to tow her car and take her car to car jail like y'all would do my car. That's what you would do. You would tow my car. She don't get any special treatment over here. She going to, gosh, man. The more I'm listening to this is absolutely sinister. And I've seen this before, but I don't know why. It is jumping out. Like, no, man, I want her to perp walk, the walk of shame. She's in the back seat. You read her rights, which is crazy. And no, we're gonna tow your car to car jail, which, by the way, is probably the PD anyway, right? We're gonna tow your car to car jail, and we're gonna make everybody know, man. Everybody needs to know that we don't play games. Wow, I'm sorry. This is taking me out. Yeah, the car goes to car jail. You go to people jail, they go to car jail. There you go. gosh, man. This is craziness. And I'm the one that found it.
Yeah, it's all her personal. Yeah.
Where are her keys at?
What is that?
C10 Pro, dude.
IR scanner.
You know? What's an IR scanner?
I don't know. Let me look it up.
Pretty high tense there. It's a camera detector, like for detecting surveillance cameras.
Oh. What is that thing? Detecting surveillance cameras. Like,
yeah, or
Walmart
bugs like
cameras?
RF frequency stuff. That's the bag that she took with, I bet you.
I couldn't hear her super good, but she said she claimed. Oh, she got locked.
Oh, nice, dude.
She's probably been doing this a while.
Well, and so Miles said he swear he has seen her before.
Which I'd be interested if he goes back and finds anything else.
Here it
No,
comes.
he will.
Yeah. Captain Steele's.
That's a good question. Where are the keys at?
Oh, nice.
Okay, real quick, I'm gonna tell you, after going in there, went to a video and saw the video on that, and actually seeing where, each time going through there, concealing the items, and then why did you grab an extra Walmart bag when you checked out?
Oh, did I?
Yeah. Well, even in your bag, you got a bunch of empty Walmart bags.
Those are for poop, for my Belgian Malinois.
So you keep them when you buy, but you don't recall grabbing one today? Okay. Well, and then initially you told me you came here because the trunk or treat the
Yes.
city gave you. Well, none of the stuff you had with you were nothing with candy or nothing like that.
Well, yeah, so I was going to do my stuff and then come through and get the candy stuff because it's really heavy to carry in a tote.
It just doesn't look good, the whole thing, but I just asked you to be honest, because here's the situation here. Video's here, the other officers reviewed it, and it's, that's why I'm asking you to be honest. You were both officers, so
No, that was not my intention.
you never had
Ma'am,
intention,
stop
you're saying
it.
it's totally accidental.
Yes.
All right, hang tight for me.
Do you mind if I talk to you?
Jump in, yeah. She's already been Mirandized.
So, here's the situation. Obviously, you know why we're over here?
Yes, I do.
Yep. So why were the items inside of the tote?
Like I said, I have two separate totes. I was going to do one for the candy and then one for my personal stuff. I was on my way home.
Now we told her, professional curse. She didn't even cuss. We don't do that to no one else.
And when were you going to get the candy then?
I was going to get them probably around the same time. I was going around to make candy usually melts. I didn't want to put it in my car right away.
Candy melts.
I believe that you're looking for your keys. But here's the deal. You did a crime today.
I know it doesn't look good.
No, it's illegal. It's not that it doesn't look good. It's shoplifting.
That was not my intention.
I'm not
I
asking
just
you
got
what your
a phone
intention
call.
was.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I got
I'm
a
not
phone
saying
call.
when you got here you planned to steal stuff.
No.
I think she
I'm
did.
not saying that.
What's Boss's number? You might call him, give him a rundown. What's his number?
Oh, I'll give you his word for an essence word.
Now, you're a certified peace officer, correct?
Yes.
If I lost my keys, what are the keys for?
My car, my unit.
Yeah, so if I lost my keys from my unit, I would leave my merchandise and go find it because it's kind of important. Especially you said your weapon's in there, correct?
Yes.
So why go through self-checkout, purchase the tote, and then try to leave the store? Hey, how's it going?
Come on, wait, whoa.
We're chatting with her. If you just give us a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, can we talk over here real quick? You're her captain, right?
Yes,
Is
I'm
that
the
what you're captain? So they have her on video, and it looks pretty clear that she was concealing items into a tote. They've been watching you. I watched the surveillance video. You look like a thief. I'm gonna be honest with you. You look like a shoplifter on the video. I've watched a lot of shoplifters on video. You look like a shoplifter.
Okay, that's not good then.
It's not. I mean, we deal in probable cause, right? What's probable? Let me ask you. You have this call right now. Take your profession out of it. What's probable?
Evidence what you've got.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you what's probable.
I guess what it looks like.
What does it look like?
It looks like shoplifting.
It does.
Because it is.
All right, sit tight.
No, this is her captain.
Oh, hello.
So she's saying she did need to buy a tote.
Cool. Well, she also shoplifted.
Yeah.
So problem is that she's given us 7 different stories about what she was doing and how she was trying to get that accomplished.
Yeah.
And Asset Protection watched her load a tote with personal items,
Yeah.
one item at a time, close the lid every time. She had ample opportunities to stop and leave her
Yeah.
cart with someone. She decided instead to purchase only the tote that was full of the items
Yeah.
and then attempt to leave the store without stopping to talk to anybody before she was confronted by Asset Protection.
Does she have her unit key?
No, she's saying she still doesn't know where that is. But we also haven't dug through her pockets or anything like that. But I mean, she did shop.
I don't remember. That's something I don't remember if they found the keys. So I'm definitely paying attention to the end. But have you ever been to those sales where you get like Home Depot sometimes, where you can get the Home Depot bucket and everything you can put in the bucket, you pay a certain price for whatever you can put in the bucket. Maybe that's what she thought she was doing. Like she gets the tote and you pay the price for the tote, but everything you get into the tote, if you can close the lid, you get it for free. Maybe that's what she was thinking. Maybe she's going to be like the booster that we watched earlier. Maybe she was going to start like a little side hustle or something. This is crazy work, y'all. All right, let's get done. Let's go.
Shoplifting. So that's where we're at today. Okay. Is at the very least she's getting charged for shoplifting.
Yeah.
So I was just talking to the supervisor and make sure it was okay. He said it's okay if you want to see the video. So that way you understand what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
By now, officers had reviewed the footage, heard her story, and felt confident they understood what happened. But before making any decisions, they wanted her own captain to see the video for herself. But when they stepped back into Walmart, they were met with new information.
Hey, can you show us that video again real quick?
So I'm pretty sure I found her doing it. I think I found her doing it again.
Hey, you found her doing it another time, not
so. There's another one. This one's going to take a lot longer.
That's okay. So you found another one too?
Yeah, so I found another one. Okay. This one's the most concerning because I got to make sure that she didn't pay for any of this stuff. I don't want to say anything out of turn, but
Sure, yeah. No,
she has a tote with a bunch of stuff around it. One of my totes actually does their job for once.
Look at that.
And takes the top of the tote off.
Oh, cow.
Yeah, there's Lego sets on Lego sets on Lego sets. So that's all inside of there. I want to make sure
She's still in the Legos.
Already.
Y'all, she's still in the Legos, y'all. She boosting the bricks. She boosting the bricks. Y'all, put bricks in the chat. How you boosting the bricks? That's crazy work. Oh, she going to jail. I'm about to give her another. I might have to give it to her again. She is on her way. She boosting the bricks. Oh, man, come on.
But that's pretty suspicious in our line of work.
Give me the dates on today's, the what, 6?
Bricks and
Today's
fees.
the
Crazy.
6th, the
And
30th.
then 9:30,
And then the big one was going to be 8/27.
8:27.
If that is what we see.
And she looks like she.
Yeah, so she puts it back on without. No, she got her back, but that same. Maybe it's a backpack she carries always.
It's a backpack, yeah.
Maybe that's like her purse or something.
Yeah, but this one, the 30th, she has like her hair tight. She has her looks like
work boots on there. So on the 9:30 in uniform and today in uniform, and her patrol vehicle's out there now.
In uniform is
like I told you,
crazy.
be not straight with me, and I'm gonna be straight with you right now. Okay. So after loss prevention saw you this time, he found 2 other days where you're filling it with the toys, filling another one with the candy. So if it's truly those 3, then they want to book you in for a felony for the value in that, because the one with all the toys that you didn't pay for, the other time when you came in. So they have 3 videos they're pulling right now and it's showing the 10. That's why I asked you to be honest. Just I'll give you opportunity. So we're human. We make mistakes. And did you do
Ain't no
it or
mistake.
not? I mean,
You stole it.
That's why I said it doesn't look good, especially you being an officer if you're lying to me. But straight, I made a mistake. I did this. Tell me. That's all I'm asking you. So is that something you commonly do and just
No, I wasn't trying to take anything today.
today?
No.
But you have in the past?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. That's all I'm asking. Be honest with me. Because that's the worst thing is when I see those videos and then you're telling me today. You know what I mean? So in the past you did, but today was truly an accident.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Fair enough. I appreciate that, okay? And that's what I'm trying to work with you. I just don't on handcuffs. I'm not doing that. I would expect you to do the same to me if you dealt with me, okay?
No, I'm putting you in
So you're fine.
cuffs.
That's why I'm going to keep you posted as we go. I told you at the beginning to be straight with me, honest, and obviously you haven't. Because when I went in there, they showed me 2 other videos. And I said, so
Other videos is crazy.
I'm booking you for a felony. And she's like, today wasn't intentional. I said, so are you telling me you never stole here? She's like, I have stole here. Yeah. But not today.
But it'll give Miles some time to give us the evidence. But
He told me within an hour. He told me, I gave my number. I said, so you have an answer within an hour? He said, within an hour. And just to tell you, she asked what was going on after you were here. And I said, after reviewing the video, I realized you lied to me. I said, have you stole here? She's like, yeah, I have stole here.
Yeah.
But today wasn't intentional. So we're going to discuss it with our boss, go back to see if we're going to do the long form.
It'll be nice to do a long form so she can come in tomorrow and place her on leave or something, pending investigation.
But we'll let you know here in about 20 minutes or so.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Appreciate it, Captain.
Hey, Melissa, what were you thinking? I mean, I don't understand. Why would you put your career on the line for something foolish like this? You know what I mean? It's not worth it. Even if you say today wasn't intentional, they've already got 3 other videos. Why would you do? I don't understand.
In the days that followed, Loss Prevention completed a full audit of Melissa's past visits, and detectives reviewed the transactions tied to her employee status and the items she claimed were for work. That review uncovered additional concerns, including purchases made with department funds that didn't match what was taken, and items that were never reimbursed. With the repeated thefts, the use of a tote to conceal merchandise, and the financial discrepancies, the case was forwarded for felony review under Arizona's organized retail theft and fraudulent schemes statutes. Investigators ultimately linked her to multiple incidents over several months, with roughly $1,200 $1,200 in alleged thefts and fraudulent refunds, including returns on items that records showed were never purchased. Melissa was cited and released that night, trespassed from every Walmart, and later indicted on multiple counts of felony shoplifting and fraudulent schemes. She pleaded not guilty, and her employment status with the department has not been publicly updated since. However, if convicted, she would automatically face decertification in the state of Arizona and never again be allowed to work as a trusted public servant. We reached out to Melissa Ward for comment, but did not receive a response.
Y'all, hold on. Let me wait. $1,200. Hold on, there was something right here I thought was crazy. She got trespassed. There it goes.
Shoplifting and fraudulent schemes.
She got trespassed from every Walmart. Okay, I've watched a lot of body cam. I've never heard that before. And maybe if somebody knows exactly, feel free to jump into the chat real quick and give me clarity. She's trespassed from every Walmart. They mean like every Walmart in the city, right? They mean every Walmart in the city. Oh, I don't know about the keys. That's a great question. They never said anything about the keys. They said, look, they said every Walmart. Like, how are you getting banned from every Walmart? That's diabolical. Felony shoplifting 8 times. Fraudulent schemes. I wonder what that is.
She pleaded not.
What's fraudulent schemes?
So felony shoplifting and fraudulent schemes.
I did it again. Okay, stop, Jason. Just stop. All right. She cited and released that night. Okay, got you. That's the part right there. Trespass from every Walmart. Walmart said, we don't want you. No more. No more. No more for you. No more Walmart for you. What is it? Where shopping is a pleasure? No, that's where shopping is a pleasure. Where's that? Anyway, they said none of that for you. You got to go somewhere else. Go to Target. Them keys, man. Because I thought about it. I was like, well, if she walked in and kind of like threw her keys somewhere, but no, it's still a police car though. Never mind. That would be insane. That would be really bad. Yeah, I don't know what happened with the keys. I would love to know what happened to the keys. They gon' So, okay, is it everyone in the town? Like, I've heard people get banned from multiple Walmarts because of shoplifting, but I've never heard every Walmart. And that might be just a typo. Maybe they meant every Walmart in, I think they're in New Mexico, every Walmart in, in the state maybe in the town, but every Walmart sounds sinister. Because, if you roll up in there to try and get your oil change over at the car department, you're going to end up going to jail again. Oh, it's Publix. That is right. Where shopping's a pleasure. It's Publix. Sorry. That is the crazy. I told you there was crazy work. I told you it was crazy. So stay tuned tomorrow. I got another crazy one tomorrow. I don't think I got a police officer getting arrested, but I have to find out. Wait, Jay Webb pocketing petty cash from the department. Not me. I'm not pocketing. No, ma'am. No. I'm scared of that. I'm scared. I'm a deacon, for crying out loud, man. We count money. I'm scared to do that. No, ma'am. You're not marching me up out. You ain't arresting Deacon Whitaker. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, ma'am. Nope. Nah, I'm good. That's some crazy work. But anyway, we will do body cam bingo tomorrow. I promise you. I got the videos already queued up. We're ready to do body cam bingo tomorrow. I'll make sure. Gosh, this video, did I let y'all down though? I told y'all this video was crazy. Oh, okay. That's what fraudulent schemes are. Pocketing petty cash. You know what? That makes sense because she did get in trouble because she was buying stuff with her expense card and not reimbursing. Yep. Okay. That would make sense. Okay. There we go. Okay. I object. Look, I object to getting arrested. That my support of the criminal justice system is that I stay out of the criminal justice system. There you go. That's how I support it. Do I support the blue? Absolutely. By keeping my black self over here on this side of the blue line. There you go. That's how I support the blue. Y'all go deal with them other people over there. Me, I'm not going to be a participant in that. That's how I support them. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Patrina. All right, y'all, let's do this. I got to go pick up President, Chief Executive, Secondborn. It's late at night, so I don't want President, Firstborn driving. But, so in closing, wait. So in closing, what has the congregation learned today? Now, let me tell you something. If we start like an exit ticket, that would be comedy gold, where you have to like say something that you learned during the podcast. That would be hilarious. I think that would be hilarious. To say, I don't know where you came from. Long hair, don't care, but you are welcome here at this church. You are welcome. That would be hilarious. What did we learn, boys and girls? Right, there we go. Don't steal for the dog. There you go. Don't be boosting. Oh my gosh, that is so gross. Oh, I hate seeing that, man. Oh, stealing is wrong. Have a blessed night, everyone. Thank you for joining us. May the peace of Christ be with you all as you go through your evening and weekend. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Future, I appreciate that. Very kind of you. Thank you. Why is everybody remembering don't steal? Right. But what about homeschooling? What about... Why, man? Why are y'all so funny? Swiper, no swiping, y'all. Oh, I miss Dora the Explorer. Oh, man, my kids are... Does that still come on? Like, my girls used to love Dora and Diego. They used to be Team Dora, Team Diego for sure. That was our jam. Oh, I'm going to have to find that little clip. Swiper, no swiping. That would have been hilarious. All right, everybody. I'm going to go pick up my baby from work. But I want to say thank y'all to everybody. This was a lot of fun. Thank you to the very kind supers. Thank you so much to Mike and CJ for sponsoring the live stream by going ahead and blessing 5 people apiece with new memberships. Thank you. Welcome to all the new members. By the way, I do want to say thank you to Amethyst Angel. She's been a member for 26 months. She says this: I once arrested a young woman who used her double diapered bag to steal jewelry. She slipped the goods between the 2 diapers. Oh my gosh. That was 1986. Nothing new, just more public with no shame. Thank you so much, Amethyst. Oh my gosh, I can imagine. But yeah, they didn't have self-snitching social media back then either. There you go. So let's do this again tomorrow, Lord willing. We're going to pick up at 6 o'clock. We're going to do body cam bingo, all that kind of good shenanigans. Don't steal in uniform. Did I let y'all down? I told y'all that was the craziest video. I told you it was a crazy video. So tomorrow, Lord willing, Saturday, we'll do body cam bingo. Having a good time. Thank you all to everybody. Thank you to the new people. If you're brand new, thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. On your way out the door, please make sure you tip your waiters. Drop those green hearts in the chat, everybody. I'm going to see you all tomorrow. Until then, grace and peace. Take care. See you soon. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Whitt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.